we're ready for the clap, and then, of course, whenever Morg is.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So if everyone's ready, we'll do the countdown. All
Mm-hmm.
right. 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, welcome to the Hunters Hub. This is your host Fortuan, joined by co-host Morg Daddy, who is outside today. Holy cow!
Yay!
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Life is feeling good, even after recovering from COVID. Holy shit, what a nightmare that thing was. But yeah,
Yeah,
doing great now. Outside doing yard work because I'm in quarantine, and yeah, there's a lot of benefits to it. Even though money is kind of an issue, at least I can smoke outdoors, so I'm happy.
okay. Ace, welcome back temporarily again.
hmm I mean, I couldn't have class outside, but I'm here, so ready to chit chat.
And returning guest, Vengeful Torture. Welcome, man.
Yeah, thanks. Happy you could fit me into your busy schedule. So many podcasts and so many good names.
Yeah. We had Sammy Slims. We had Preacher of Valor. We're going to have TDS Shepherd next week. That one's going to be a shorter one, though. Um,
Spectacular Pooh Eagles is coming soon.
oh, yeah, him too. Yeah, I forgot about that. We're going to have him
Damn,
on.
just lining them up.
We used to do a lot of guests on this show, and then I kind of stopped doing it after I took my hiatus. I kind of wanted to refocus, and then, Rise. We want to talk to everyone about Rise all the time.
Yeah, why
There's
not?
there's a lot
There's
to
a
talk
lot,
about
right.
as far as that game.
Yeah. Well, I will say I don't do this often enough. I will say that we are a video game podcast who is born of the Monster Hunter community, which means that we will focus heavily on Monster Hunter. There's a lot to talk about out of that game, but we also talk about other things such as, we've had a TV. We talked a lot about TV with Sammy last week. We talked, movies. Monster Hunter movie, which is tangential to the Monster Hunter, of course. But hey, I liked that. I still hold that up. That was still a decent movie.
It was entertaining to say the very least. I'm just glad that Monster Hunter's big enough to be in that big of a spotlight.
Yeah, it's getting there. A lot of Capcom titles are though. I mean, we have Resident Evil, and then I could see some other ones popping up there. But
Yeah, I just saw that Resident Evil is getting a anime on Netflix, a show on Netflix.
Castlevania is doing
that
good.
sounds like it's gonna be good.
So,
Yeah, I'm surprised and impressed.
by the way, anyone watch Castlevania here? I just watched it with Chance this week.
I watched
I
the
have-
first season. I'm gonna watch the second one. I heard it's really good.
Well,
I heard it was good, but I haven't seen it. I haven't made the time for it.
we just finished season 4, so you got a while to catch up, Morg.
Yeah.
He's in quarantine. He can binge it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I
No,
mean, it's
we
on
did.
Netflix. It's easily accessible, so
Was it a day? It was a day or two that we did all of season 4. Like,
holy
Yeah.
shit.
well,
If it's good, you just keep watching. You don't even know the time's passing.
right. Well, that was also, like I said, Morg is still in recovery from COVID and still quarantined. I was in recovery from my shot number 1, and and that's how we were able to binge it. Because man, that laid me out. And it was just tired. It was like, well, the arm soreness too. Like I couldn't raise my arm like more than this for a long time without it getting like really bad pain. And then eventually,
Yeah.
it took me because I got the shot Tuesday, and then I would say I didn't have full arm control until yesterday, and then today was fine. But then we went and worked on a garden today, so that was fun.
Just right back in it.
Yeah. Yeah, planted onions and broccoli and cauliflower and something else.
That's
Potatoes?
awesome.
I hope potatoes is on the
Oh,
list.
yes, we did do potatoes. I almost forgot. We did do potatoes. Potatoes don't work
Right.
well here.
I like the fifth member of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she wanted to get back up to her bed, but I'm kind of blocking everything, so I had to pick her up and set her down.
Blinky's behind me, but she's wiped out. There's no way she wants to come on stream. There's no way. Welcome,
I'm
Cloud.
sure Cat will be
Um,
running around here somewhere.
yeah. My oh boy. Anyway, so yeah. I think we didn't talk about a monster of the week. We didn't even announce it. We didn't
yeah.
even talk about doing it, so I guess we're going to skip it today. Cuz yeah, I just like I said, my brain has just been out of it. So we'll get
When
right
you got
in.
that COVID shot, did it kind of feel like you were having like growing pains almost? Like like your legs and like certain body parts are like kind of feel
No.
stretched, kind of like you were. Yeah, because I felt that. It felt like I was hitting puberty again. Like my brain was absolute mush. I was tired all the time and just so goddamn sore. Oh, it's awful. Minus the schoolwork. Yeah, it was pretty much the same.
I no, I it was like a normal muscular pain, which is what a lot of people felt. And that wasn't too bad. It was just the tiredness. Like I am not a person who likes to nap or sleep or anything of not playing games. And
Yeah.
I fell asleep quite often. We were my brother and I. We've been doing crown hunting. We're still working on Royal Ludroth. We've been working on Royal Ludroth for about a week and a half now, and
Jeez.
we'd get like 3 hunts in, and I'd be like, but yeah. Well, VT, I don't know if you saw my struggles with crown hunting and Rise so far, but you might have seen some of the Twitter stuff. But
I saw some of it. Yeah, you're moving right along, but I did notice that it definitely did it picked up and then it's died down recently.
yeah,
Could be because of all the sleep you're getting, I guess. But
well, it did die down some of the fact that we're not playing as much, and we've both been very tired. He's back for like 1 week at a time because he takes care of my grandmother.
Oh.
And he was back this week, and so we were like, yeah, we're gonna hunt a lot. And then I got the shot, and he was just tired in general because he got his second shot Monday, and I had a worse time than him. And
you're gonna sail through your second shot, or it's gonna be a disaster.
dear God,
So best of luck.
I have it on a Tuesday too, so I am really, really hoping that it is just good because I will have to work. My dad will not give a shit.
Oof, yeah, that's brutal.
Yeah,
That's brutal.
so yeah, but yeah, a lot of crown hunting. But before the Ludroth, even though we just broke 100 on him, our record still is 224. So
Oh my God.
we haven't hit half to what it normally was, which is Great Boggy. That was I've talked about that every week now, how terrible that was, but
I would have given up at 50. Like, this isn't for me. I'm never gonna get it.
no,
Oh
not
my
me.
God.
It's my last thing to do in Rise until we get the update. I've done all the Pokemon snapping. I've done.
Yeah, you did Juratoto's pretty bad. He made him look like a damn fool in your go card.
I actually like
It's
that
just like-
picture.
What?
That's just
What are you
how
gonna
it
do?
works.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's mean. I know he ugly, but still. Damn.
Should have got a better shot. I think one of my worst shots I have is like Arzuros, and it's like way in the distance. Like I couldn't get a better shot of Arzuros. It's just like,
Spec.
hey, little bear.
Oh my God, that's funny.
um,
I do need to do more of that. That is a lot of fun.
yeah, I mean, and I also got Pokemon Snap, so I was like hyping myself for Pokemon Snap with Monster Hunter Rise. It was fun. It was a nice give and take. But I did that. I did all the guild card. I've completed every quest, even the event quest that popped up yesterday, and which is easy.
Nice.
Like, I don't know if you guys have done it yet, but it was fairly easy.
It was Arzuros. I got to farm him a few more times to get the layered. I don't care about making the actual armor, but the layered glasses will be pretty cool. So it's like 3 more times, I think.
Yeah. They're not very clear on where that was until I realized there was another tab. So I spent a good like 10 minutes looking for it, and I was like, where the hell is it? I actually had to Google.
I completely missed it.
Yeah, I actually had to Google. I was like, what? I found the item I got for it. You need 4 of them. What wisdom crystals, I think. Which
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's wisdom crystals.
Yeah. Oh, there's the cat. One
There we
of
go.
them.
He was bothering me. You can sit here for 10 seconds so you realize you're not getting a treat. This isn't my stream.
Oh man.
God.
So so VT, you've been doing a lot of sets. Has kind of been what's kept you going.
Yeah, that's what always keeps me going
Yeah.
in Monster Hunter games. I think I'm up to like 47 or 46 right now, custom sets just on YouTube, but I've got more than I just have to make videos for.
Jeez.
And more new requests every day, pretty much.
Yeah, I've noticed it's really crazy, and especially with all the people that have been sending you like talismans and stuff like that. Just yeah, it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's like a love-hate thing because I love making armor sets, but everyone that sends me like an amazing talisman, I'm like, that's so good. Like, why can't I have that?
We
You got lucky.
we talked about having a segment on this show called the "Fuck You for Getting That Talisman" segment, and featuring a
I like that.
really good talisman. But we just kind of like didn't get behind the idea, I guess. And
Dude, I saw one today on Twitter. I forget who had it or how I saw it through retweet or whatever. It doesn't matter. But it was Crit Eye 3, Handicraft 1 with a level 2 slot.
yep.
Are you kidding me? Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? That's insane.
There is a way to be able to fix your charm table in the game. It's a really weird glitch, or well, I don't even think it's a glitch. So what you can do is you turn your autosave off, you save your game, then you make 10 talismans, then you go into I think it's the Rajang Arena, and you pick heavy bowgun, you get killed by him once, and then you go and you check your talismans. If none of them are the ones that you're looking for, you reset your game, or sorry, you go back to your last save. You make 1 talisman, I think it is. Go get killed by Rajang, and then save your game, and then it'll automatically shuffle your charm table, and then you can go back and then just do the same thing again, and then eventually you'll get the charm that you're looking for if you just follow that process, and it saves you so many materials. It's really really good.
Yeah, I did see something about that. Someone in my stream was telling me about, going through that and it, basically, like you said, saving a lot of materials and kind of going through it. And I was like, oh man, I did like that a little bit within World, like the decorations kind of save scumming a little bit. And I haven't given up yet. Not yet. But I'm glad there's some kind of option because it limits, like talismans limit so much, So I was like,
Didn't used to be the case, which is really weird. They've really flopped on that because like Generations Ultimate and before, I didn't feel like talismans were so built.
oh man, oh GU, like I killed like 1,000 Brockies on that bonus or that DLC quest to just get so many different talismans and charms with tons of people.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I think for a lot of the talismans back then, a lot of the ones that I was looking for, they were for making mixed deviant sets. So like trying to just squeeze an additional skill on for those sets.
Right.
I think it would just as a base model for deviant sets alone. I think you could get like, I think it was like maybe 4 or 5 skills on them. But if you were really lucky, you could, I think, incorporate like maybe an additional skill, so you could like maybe get 5 or 6.
Yeah, the mixing with the deviants, you had to have a decent talisman. There was no other way around it.
Yeah, like I was really lucky to be able to make a Dread Queen set that had, I think it was chain crit on it. So if you were running like dual blades or sword and shield with a status weapon on it, you could really play as a really effective support player. It is really really nice. I liked it, especially getting that extra 30 crit.
Yeah,
really
I
good.
miss chain crit. I wish that would come back in Rise. I mean, it was so nice for certain weapons. I always like that when you have skills that like play to a few weapons and not others. Because you kind of helps guide your building and everything else. It's fun.
Yeah, the fact that it's restricted to, I think it's just the Kushala weapons alone.
It is, yeah, for now.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
We'll
would
see.
very much.
They added new skills in, the last update, I suppose, technically, so they could add more in the next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Master's Touch, I think, is one of the new ones that came in,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
it's good. It's actually really good in this game. I like that it's only 80%. So
yeah. I
People
agree with
can't
that
just-
too.
They
You
fixed a
don't
lot
have the
of
same
skills.
set running around.
yeah,
Yeah.
oh my.
They-
You, World. Thank you, World, for making just the one meta set that everybody's just like, oh, streamlined, just steeple, just one track mind, not being creative.
Yeah, 100% with you there, Morg. I love seeing. I mean, that's what I love about everyone having different talismans. At least that's the one positive is people are running. They're getting creative. They're customizing everything they have to their talismans with their set and everything. And I love seeing that. Fortune was coming in. You had your part breaker, great sword set, and I think we were playing with someone else who had a different great sword set that was completely opposite direction.
Yep.
And it's fun, completely viable. Both, it was great.
I'm still running it. I'm still Part Breaker 3, Divine Protection 2 with a 2 slot. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's solid. I know. I'm still hoping for some. I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm looking for yet, but I don't have it. It's that expert handicraft one. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one is definitely one to go for. Holy crap, it's gonna be
Yeah.
a good one.
For me, I would love, I don't know if it's possible, but I'm looking for Part Breaker 3. That is the 100%. And then another skill that I would normally have. I don't really need the Divine Protection. I haven't been like fainting or enough to really warrant that kind of extra defense. So I'm really looking for something offensive or something a little more along those lines, like maybe Part Breaker with attack or possibly, and I'd love to get handicraft back because man, the sharpness on those great swords are just at times abysmal. There's some great swords I refuse to use because of their terrible sharpness, like the Teoster greatsword. Like unless I'm gonna run a blunt set, I'm never touching that one.
Yeah, handicraft it's very, very difficult to build a set around in Rise right now. I mean, some of the great swords aren't even in there. Like the Teo great sword, it doesn't even have a final form yet. Hopefully we'll see that in 3.0. But like you said, a lot of them just take It's not even like Handicraft 3 to get up there because it's different. Like instead of it's World Handicraft 1 through 5 as opposed to 1 and 2 where you get the huge chunks or not, which that was a little bit easier I felt, but the mixing pieces just aren't there. Like they're really not yet. We don't have any mid-tier monsters that really give decent handicraft.
No.
I guess except for Magdamalo Arms, they give handicraft 2 with a level 2 slot, and that's nice.
Yes.
But all the other ones make it very difficult to mix around and work towards. There's like no options.
I replaced
I think
I replaced mine with
well,
Diablos for
one-
offensive guard.
one skill in particular that I'm looking forward to seeing, and a lot of people have been speculating that Valstrax comes back. So if that does come back, I'm hoping that we get Dragon Spirit or Dragonheart, whatever you want to call it. And maybe, if it has like things like, I don't think it had Resentment on it. I know it had Crisis and I know it had Attack. But if I'm able to make that previous longsword build that I had like a million years ago, if I can make that set again, I'll be very, very happy. Oh my God. There's
Yeah, it was fun making some different, like you said, some like detrimental positive sets with Valstrax. Like you get hurt to hurt more, especially with Counter-Strike too. Like that could go really well with the Valstrax set. But that's even kind of difficult to like mix towards because I wanted to make like a greatsword Counter-Strike with like Resentment in there, but Resentment is completely like absent from all but 3 pieces, and it goes up to 5 levels. Like I looked at that and I'm like, okay, well, great. I need a talisman and I don't have it, so I can't mix for that. That sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually talking with, I think it was Sarah Symmetry when he was streaming. He was trying to get a TA sub 4, and yeah, I completely lost my brain there for a minute because I was like, oh man, I would very much love to see Resentment come back, or I don't know, is Counter-Strike going to replace it forever? And he's like, dude, Resentment is in the game.
It's in the
and
game.
I'm like, And I'm like, oh, Jesus. Oh, my
Yeah.
God. Oh, where
Mhm.
is it? Did I completely overlook it? And he's like, yep, you totally did. It's on Gosarog and Magnamalo. And I'm like, wow, I'm dumb. And he's like,
Yeah, like
Yeah.
one
just a
point
little
on
bit.
each. It's like nowhere. It's brutal.
I think the Magnamalo
Yeah,
helm
yeah.
has one of them because I was running Magnamalo helm for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Either that or it's resuscitate on Magnum Hollow Helm. I think it's resentment. Yeah.
Yeah, it's resentment.
know.
I've never had resuscitate. I'm pretty sure it's resentment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm running the Gossarog Greaves because 3 levels of agitator on.
Yeah, it's pretty beastie. That's actually a really beastie piece. I think it also comes with 1 point and punish draw on a level 1 slot. Like that's a 5-point piece. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really don't care about the punishing draw, even though I am a great sword. But
Well, and I haven't tested this, but punish draw actually seems interesting because the way I read it, it reads like you do the same amount of KO damage from level 1, 2, and 3. But I'm not sure if that's true or not. I have to look into that more.
the way the skill reads, I felt like it because it says, "Oh, you have a higher chance with each point to KO," and I'm like, "Oh, maybe it's just a better scaling with the more punishing draw for the KO damage." But-
Yeah, I think it might actually scale higher for KO damage the more that you put into it. I don't know if it really affects the how much raw damage that you do.
No.
You get like a very,
but-
very tiny boost, I think. At least in the past,
Yeah.
you have. Like
Yeah,
1%
because I
or
remember.
something.
Yeah, I remembered. I think it was like in World, it was like 5 raw. It was, I mean, like it was great.
That's cute.
For, yeah. It's a nice little piece, you know. If you
Yeah.
like the idea of like using what is it, clutch claw heavy bowgun, which unfortunately like ballistics never worked on. I was like, come on, just give me ballistics on that. Just make it so that it does like 100% of the damage up close. That would be great, you know. But I don't know. It was okay.
I had a thought of maybe switching to Charge Blade main, and it was literally because everyone was just crapping all over Charge Blade like the past 2 weeks. I was like,
I'm
like, I kind of want to play Charge Blade now that people think it's bad. Like,
I have seen so many people complain about it, and it's such a flip from the past like few games. It's nuts.
oh yeah, it's always been overpowered, always.
Well,
Yeah.
there are a couple of things that they changed. One, they made it more of like a counteroffensive style of play. Like it's not as ultra aggressive as it was before. It used to be very proactive, and now it's
Yeah.
more reactive. And then they also changed the way that SAEDs function. Now it just goes into like a straight line, rather than the way that it used to fork out into like this triangle of explosions.
Yeah.
And the vertical hitbox for it isn't very high. So if you flinch out a monster, and I was even watching as SAEDs were going on Magnamalo, whenever he's like just out of alignment, or if he's like if he like recoils and then jumps further back, that line of shots that you have there are completely wasted.
Yep.
So, you know, I can understand why a lot of Charge Blade mains are really frustrated with this version of it in Rise. And
Yeah, well, and especially based on the animation of it. I mean, it's a massive explosion, right?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
would think it would, like the whole animation should hit the monster, but it's really just a little tiny spot on the ground. It's basically has the hitbox of the dual blade Silkbind attack. No, okay.
Yeah.
See, with all this, I'm just kind of laughing to myself internally because I see all the drama going on with the Charge Blade, and then I'm also laughing because you guys are all like focused on like building certain sets and whatnot, and then I'm just over here like I got my Part Breaker 2 gems, 2 of them, with either 2 Slugger or some other skill, and then a 2 slot, so I can sub in the third Part Breaker, and then I'm just like from there I just ping pong around between weapons and armor sets, and I just build based off of whatever I'm currently using.
Mhm.
And I'm like not even like focused on maximizing all the skills and whatnot. I'm just ping ponging around and just bashing the monster. So
Yeah. Well, you don't have to be
Ooh.
very efficient when you're crown hunting Royal Ludroth. I'll say that. Like I don't even use a
True
potion
that.
lately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like, even as like a hammer main, like I'm not suffering from any of this at all, except for maybe Impact Crater having like um two separate attacks on the way down, as opposed to maybe it just being just the one.
a lot of
If you
weapons
flinch
do
out
that
if you
now,
stagger
though.
out a monster, yeah. If
Mhm.
you stagger out a monster with the first hit, you miss out on half the damage that you could be doing.
Yeah, that
So,
happens
but I
to me a
mean,
lot with that attack. It still feels amazing
mhm.
though, so I just like shrug it
Oh
off.
yeah.
Right.
But the
I'll
hammer,
only,
oh
yeah, yeah. I'll only ever use it if the monster is KO'd or if they're toppled over, and I have no worries about it like going anywhere. But I mean, like if the monster's propped up and it's active and it's doing stuff, and I use it, I know I'm gonna whiff. You know,
yeah,
like
I try to
there's
get clever
nothing
with
you
it
can do about
too.
it.
And like when I'm up in the air, because it's a very lofty attack, it's awesome. And then I just get smacked out of the sky. It's like, well, there's two wire bugs I don't get back. That's nice.
Oh, you
Yeah,
not believe how many
exactly.
times I missed the hunter's edge with the greatsword. It's just, oh yeah, I just dove over here for no reason. I'll do that all the time. And then people are like, why don't
I've
you?
got to get more greatsword usage in. I made a set. It has Counter Strike because I know I'm gonna get hit a lot.
Hmm.
Oh, Counter Strike would be excellent for what is it? What does that stand in for Brimstone Slash again? What is it called?
It's the one I
It
don't
replaces
use.
the True Charge Slash.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it's called because I don't really use Greatsword enough. But I can imagine that in conjunction with Resentment would be really phenomenal. Like being able to
Yeah.
get that extra raw in there. Ooh,
Yeah,
be
because you're
really
basically
good for
tanking
counterplay.
everything.
If you're
Yeah.
doing that, you need to
Mhm.
keep the shoulder check too, so you actually take damage. That's the one thing about the push block over the
Yes.
shoulder check. Push block, you lose sharpness instead of health, and I'd rather lose sharpness instead of health. So
Mm,
I
yeah, I wasn't aware of that. But you can run a. But then the alternative, like you said, I think you said you were using offensive guard with Diablo's chest. So yeah, so you can get that in too, and that's percentage based. That's amazing.
mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I use a lot of black in my magic deck, so yeah, health is definitely a resource for me. Sorry.
Which is the exact thing I don't like doing in Magic is paying life. I don't like it.
Oh man, you must hate black, blue, and white. Oh my god, the amount of life exchange in that deck is
Hey,
insane.
I'll do it. I'll do it. I like black, but I like black for other reasons. For instance, one of my favorite decks is a black red green, which is Gyrus Waker of Corpses, and one of
Ooh, Jund. Jund
yeah.
is good.
So one of my favorite cards in it is the Sire of Insanity. And if you don't know what that does, that says at the end of anyone's turn, everyone discards their whole hand. Congratulations, everyone's
Jesus.
top decking.
Oh my god.
You, me, and everybody else. All right, got it. Yeah.
No, I do it, and people are like, "Why would you do that?" And I'm like, "Well,
Want to watch
I
the
always
world burn?
I always leave my hand.
Mm.
I always play out my hand anyway. So now you guys are all gonna. Oh wait, you're not gonna play out your hand because you have to discard it. And then the other thing is, I'm just gonna bet I have the best things on the field, and then we're just gonna top deck, and then that's how we're gonna do it.
And here
There
you were
is-
shaming me for my blue black deck.
Yeah,
How could you, Fortuan?
Well, blue bat like
because
that
it's
deck
degenerate.
is like just bleeding out your opponent's deck is just absolutely savage. I mean, I love it, but God. But yeah, no, Fortuan, there is a card, I can't remember what the name of it is, but I know that it was from the Guilds of Ravnica. It was a Rakdos card. It was an enchantment that was put in place whenever you and your opponents, like on their turn, if they have like 3 or fewer cards in their hand, they take a certain amount of damage.
Yes, yeah, it's
that
a
turn.
it's a demon. It's
yeah.
not a enchantment. It's a demon.
Oh, okay. So
Yeah.
okay, so there's multiple cards that are like that. Okay, yeah, and then there's another one that you could play as well that makes it so that like at the beginning of each person's turn, they cut their health in half. So you can have a heyday with that one. Like it's chaotic.
And I think I saw in one of the newer sets there's a new mill crab that does 3 instead of 2. So I'm gonna have to slot that into that deck too.
Mm. No.
Yeah.
Make it a turn 2 mill out instead of like 4 or 5.
See that's what I don't like. That's what I. Yeah, turn 2, game's over. Yeah, no one played except for you. Thanks, fuckhead. Now let's just play another game.
You know what? You know what you should do, Ace. You know what you should do? You should just make all your cards completely unblockable. You should just throw in a bunch of like I can't remember what card it was. It was an artifact card that makes your cards unblockable. There's also a bunch of blue enchantments that do that. You could do that and then build an infect deck around it, and then like add Titanic Growth or Giant Growth or whatever, and then just poison your opponent. Just 10 points and they're dead. Just add that.
Oh,
in
I know
there.
all
Why
about
not?
So-
Infect. Infect is
I love Infect.
my bane.
My favorite thing to
I
do
love it.
with Infect was, if you're aware of it, it's a 5/1 haste called Putrefax.
Yeah.
And so that's half of the poison counters right there, 5, right? Well, I played a Xenagos deck that says at the beginning of combat, choose a creature, it gets haste, essentially haste, and give it XX equal to that creature's power. So it's a 10-2, or 10-6, sorry, a 10-6 with trample infect. So I would just wait till someone left themselves open, and I would just throw down Putrefax and then kill them in one turn, and then move on. Like,
Oh my God.
it was a good way.
Savage.
There was a good way to really get rid of problem players, as I like to call them. Like if they're
Just throw
If they
lifelink
play-
on it. Why not? Too?
if they
Just get a
play
little extra
combos-
boost out of it.
or they play blue, or they play mill.
Mill is disgusting. I hate it being used on me, but I love using it on my opponents.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Unless
we
they're
have,
running green
we have,
black and they're able to cycle their graveyard.
We have sidetracked into Event Quest, which is my podcast about Magic.
Hell yeah.
I will say before we move off of this, you're talking about Infect and stuff more. Have you looked at the new D&D cards coming out? So there's a Dungeons and there's a Forgotten Realms set for
No.
Magic coming out. They have released a Dritz Duerden card at Rare that is a I think he's a 3/3, and he has a text that says when something dies on the field, he gets +1/+1 counters equal to the difference between his power and the creature's power. So,
So like whether it's weaker or not, like
no.
that it starts
It has to
getting
be stronger. It has to
the
be stronger than
difference.
him. So he's taking down bigger things.
Okay.
But he also summons a 4/1 haste token at the same time, which is Guinevere, if you're familiar with the Salvatore series.
Man.
And so you just charge her into the monster that you're fighting, and it's like they both die, and he gets the difference of both.
Now you've got me thinking of my Jun deck that I have. Like I think it's like a couple of Broodmate Dragons, and I think there was a card. It was like a Clone Vat or something like that, where if the card is in the graveyard, you can exile it, and then you can bring it back for the cost of 4 mana. And by the way, Broodmate Dragons are really expensive, and you can bring it in on that turn with haste, and then fight with it at the end of your turn. You exile it again. But the thing about Broodmate Dragons is that when they're put onto the field, you automatically get a 4/4 dragon with flying and haste. So you can like spam, like by spending 4 mana every single turn, putting in another dragon every single turn. Oh my God, it's like such a bully set. Like I love it.
So, with that magic aside, back to Monster Hunter. So what like I pretty much said my progress lately is I'm still working on Ludroth. I think we hit 106. For that. So like what obviously you're still working on a lot of sets, VT. You said you've got more in the works. Morg, what are you doing lately? When were you going to see you online again?
The last time that I was online, I think might have been 2 or 3 days ago, and yeah, what happened
Uh-oh. I lost him.
Ibushi with another player. It was really fun, and what was another thing I did? I did a 4-player Narwa, and that was my first time with both of those. Managed to clear it. Thank God I had Fortify because
Yeah,
there
first
was
time
a lot of
against
shit that
Narwa or
came-
something can be something.
Yeah.
the way that she throws around those Magneto rings. Like, anybody ever seen like the '90s X-Men cartoon?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where like you see and it'll be like, oh, and then like these gold and magnetic rings will come out of his hand. Yeah, you know
Yeah,
what?
they're dangerous
Narwhal
Honey
is
Nut
just Magneto.
Cheerios. Yeah.
Dangerous Honey Nut Cheerios. Nice.
I think we were
Yeah.
calling them electric donuts for a while there too.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
My
Yep,
brother
that's
really
right.
got into the Electric Donuts convention.
Thunder nuts.
Thunder Nuts.
Thunder.
Beware the
Hey,
thunder nuts.
Good old bowl of Thunder Nuts.
We can't do 2 not safe for work episodes in a row, man. We can't do.
I keep forgetting. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We have listeners that, have children. Oh, boy. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah. It's either that or like, yeah, there was another cartoon. I think it was Iron Man, which was also in the 90s. And Hypnotia was one of the characters. She's like, look deep into my eyes.
Well, that
and she'll
was
have
just-
like these big yellow rings that'll come out. Woo, woo.
That was
Yeah.
just a thing. Anytime they were like psychic powers, it's always rings. It's all like anything
I know
psychic,
that.
it's always rings.
It's either that or like this blue aura thing coming out of their head going, zip. And then like all of a sudden like blue electricity or whatever is like around the thing and then telekinetic powers. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, it's usually that or something else.
Because they feel like, oh yeah, we can't just not have a visual representation of what's happening. You know. Their movies are
90s
better
cartoons
about that.
were good for that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Ace, what have you been doing lately in Rise?
Like I sort of mentioned earlier, I've just been sort of ping-ponging around between just experimenting and playing around with different weapons and sets.
Mhm.
I found the joys of like the super demon mode or whatever you can enter into with the dual blades, where you just like take both of them and go, just like Hercules, and then I just charge headlong straight at the monster and just go until I'm at like, I don't know, an eighth of my health, and then I'm like, okay, back off, and then I'll get some health back, and then I'll go back and attack the monster relentlessly.
So wait. You found a weapon just rewards your normal playstyle?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's headstrong. I like it. As a dual
That's the
name,
way
that
to
means
be,
a lot.
man.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, that's just generally how I am with any monster. I'm more so just keep attacking until I feel that I need to heal myself, heal enough, and then other times when I know it's more serious, like with Fatalis and a few other things, I'm paying attention to my health religiously and watching out for others as well. Because what was it during like, I think it was during one of the Apex hunts we had where I like clutch saved you by accident with like a life powder or something like that.
It's probably happened a couple times, honestly. I don't
Yeah.
really know. I mean,
Yeah,
it's happened. I know that it's happened, but I'm more used to Chauncey doing that. I'm more used to my brother doing that because he purposely likes playing a healing build, because he's tired of other people carding, in his words. So, so he did that.
Yeah,
Carding is how
ranges.
I win.
Mhm.
It doesn't make a lot of money, but you know what? It's worth that 20% raw.
Well, he doesn't do that right now. He's a light bowgun main in Rise. He didn't like have a lot of. It was something about the gem slots for wide range is very bad, like difficult to slot in. So
It is. Yeah, they're level 2s now, which means you pretty much have to rely on a talisman. It is to get like wide range and then any other stuff in there is very difficult, like recovery up and whatever else.
yeah,
Yeah, it's
speed
brutal.
eating as well. Speed eating actually
Yeah.
directly clashes with it too, as far as like slots
Yeah.
and armors and stuff. So like, he was
Yeah.
just like, screw it, I'm not doing that. Like he's just going for just a decent light bowgun build.
I found it super odd that speed eating is a level 2 decoration, but free meal is a level 1, which you can fit into like every set now. There's like
Yeah,
hardly any really
I
good,
was doing that a
reliable
lot.
level 1
Yeah.
decos.
Uh,
Yeah.
In the
well,
early game of Rise, I did a lot of free meal.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't like that a lot of the previous level 1 decos are now all level 2s. It's kind of infuriating, but it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah.
Some of them I understand. You know, like I guess recovery up, but wide range being a level 2 with 5 levels, that's crazy. It's
Yeah, no,
crazy.
to do it with gems alone is nigh impossible. Like,
Yeah, it pretty much is.
Yeah,
Doesn't have
you
any
need-
other good skills on there. No, it's not
yeah,
gonna happen.
Yeah, you need at least, I think, a wide range 3 talisman and like a good number of slots in it in order for it to be able to work.
Yeah, it's one of those things that really heavily comes down to a talisman. Unlike like a crit eye or something, a lot of those you can make a damn decent set without a talisman.
Mhm.
And even honestly, even handicraft, because most of the handicraft talismans I've seen have just been a level, like 1 level. So you just need a level 3 slot on a talisman, and that works out pretty well.
Lost
Don't
more
worry, I
again.
haven't left, but I am relocating.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Just lit up my face because
I was gonna say, yeah, you're not a little bright.
it's just white. I was going to ask you, so VT, I actually caught you on your stream a couple weeks ago for your birthday, and you asked
Yeah.
me to tell you about Returnal, how I liked it.
Yeah.
So
Wait, did you play it? Oh yeah, because you're booting up. Yeah, fill me in.
So, at this point, I am in the Citadel, Citadel, the
Okay.
Temple, or whatever you call it.
Mm-hmm.
So I have beat 2 bosses since we have talked about it.
What did you think of the bosses? Because like the Frike, like a lot of people have not gotten past the first boss. It was tough.
Frike is very difficult. I have beaten Frike twice.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I like it. I like it a lot. However, there are things about this game that infuriate me. And
Yeah, I get it.
it's so weird. It's the second boss was a breeze. I did it in 1 shot. I didn't die. Like I didn't even have to use my extra life parasite. Like I just
Oh, nice.
I was just like, "Oh, this is much easier. Why wasn't this like the first boss?" Like
See, I found the second one a lot harder, but the first time I got up there, he disappeared, and then he reappeared, and I was dead. And what I found out was in the second time that I fought him was that he shot through me, and then there was a wave of like 3 different projectiles, and I just got hit by all of them at once. So I went from like full health to nothing. And the second time I beat him no problem. But yeah, it was I just didn't even see him. It was brutal.
yeah, so I've been playing it off and on. I've been more focused on Rise still. I will say Returnal has saved my PlayStation from just being an HBO Max / Netflix machine.
Yeah. Outside of Returnal, I haven't. I mean, that's the first time I picked up my PS5 in a long time.
Right.
But I've been loving it. Yeah, like Returnal is. It is one of the most fun I've had in a third-person shooter in a long time. And the DualSense, though, how good is that?
Oh,
Like,
that's amazing.
With the L2 and the haptic feedback is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm kind of experiencing that. I actually picked up Resident Evil Village, and
Nice.
the way the guns operate in that is kind of interesting. So they sort of have like the resistance and pushback, and it varies between the firearms that you're using. So
See,
like
Yeah.
when you use a shotgun, the L2 to aim is like very sticky, so you have to put a decent amount of pressure to fully level the gun and then aim it. Then there's like I think because I got the deluxe, you get access to some modified handgun that has like a silencer, I think, on it. I haven't used it yet, but that also has a weird mechanism to it too, where it has resistance. So
Yeah,
it's interesting to play with these different
a lot of games
things with
have
the DualSense.
such things where it's like, oh, it's super easy to press the R. Whoa, it's like it's stuck or something.
I love that. I think it's like the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It sounds so simple, but like the fact that I can push L2 down on Returnal and it freaking stops, and then I push it further, and then it's the alt fire. Like that's sweet, and like the resistances on the guns. I didn't know Resident Evil did that, but that's really really cool. I can't wait to see more stuff like that.
Yeah, and then I've also been playing Subnautica Below Zero, and with the flashlight on, just the normal flashlight, and like the Sea Glide that you use, it's more of like a switch that you're flipping too. Because when you press it, it has resistance and then it clicks. So it's not like super sticky where you have to like super press. It's just like a switch.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I hope we see a lot more stuff like that. I mean, I know that we're kind of limited to the triggers, I guess, for that type of feedback or whatever you want to call it. But even still, like,
well, even
they can do so much with it.
Even the rumble with like the rain and stuff is pretty good.
Yeah, it is all the little feedback with getting your like alt fire back. It does that, or when like bullets are coming at you from like behind you or something, like it'll vibrate to let you know that something's happening. Like they do that. They immerse you really well with just the controller in ways that I didn't think was possible.
And I'll admit, I completely forgot about this being a feature with the DualSense. And when I first started playing Below Zero, I was really confused, and I was like, "What the fuck? Did my controller break already? What the hell?"
Yeah.
And then I realized more as I pressed it. It was like, "Oh,
it's intentional.
Just a feature."
It is a weird thought. Like, it is a very weird thought to be like, "Oh, this is a really cool feature, but it feels like my controller broke." But it's cool, but it feels like my controller broke.
It is weird.
It's if it works as intended, then it's good.
One of the things I wanted to say is the thing that frustrates me the most about the game is the fact that it is that roguelike nature. Because everything about it, I get it. You come back to life. It's part of the mystery, yada, yada. You like time loop it. I get that. That's a good way to have it like sort of like reset. But like, and I'm okay with the varied maps and stuff. But like, after I beat Frike, literally the second room had like a mini boss, and I just had the pistol, and I was just like, this isn't cool. So I died, and then I was like, how was I supposed to do that? Like, now since then I have killed a mini boss with the pistol, but it was just like, it felt like the ramp up after Frike was just insane. And then also I got myself in trouble with my own mentality on the game, because I'm thinking, okay,
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
Enter the Gungeon. So what happens in a game like Enter the Gungeon is my staple for like a roguelike for this, right? So like, you die on the first boss of Enter the Gungeon, it's like, okay, don't just rush to the boss next time. Just get your gear, get leveled up, go to the boss, go to the next thing. They put shortcuts in this game to go to the next area. And
you can skip the bosses completely in Returnal once you beat them once.
Right. Once you beat them, you can skip them. Now, here's the thing. Either I didn't read it or I didn't know. Either way, it was frustrating for me, because I was like, that's why I beat Frike a second time, because I was like, I got to gear up. I'm not going to skip it. That sounds stupid. I'm not going to be ready for whatever on the desert. So like, I did it a couple times. I beat Frike. I died again. And then like, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to skip it and see what happens. And sure enough, there's a calibrator or whatever it is that levels you all the way up to what you would be at that area. And I'm like, why didn't you just tell me that, you fuckers? Like,
yeah, so that is interesting, right? So like, you can skip the bosses once you beat them once, and then you go in, and so there's a thing, the proficiency gain that you can get when you go to the next area, it's variable. So I've had it where certain runs I get like 1 level, and other runs I get like 5. So I think it's more often than not I get like quite a few levels. So I think it is tailored to that. But that's not all, right? Like, so that helps your weapons. You still have to find a decent weapon with this, rolls that works for you, and you also have to find like the artifacts and everything else. But you can build yourself up as much as you want, like, or don't want really. I don't know. Returnal, like, it is very roguelike, but I found it very forgiving in a lot of ways, because when I was just kind of farming or running on Tuesday and Thursday for the secret ending, I was just going through and just like, all right, we're just gonna find it and move on. And if you learn a little bit of it, for the most part, some of the enemies you can kind of just skate around and just kind of get by with what you have. But then you see such a huge, like, gap to how stacked you can be if you really take time to explore and really stock up. And I think that's
Yeah.
awesome. I think they do have a formula really well done for like a pretty forgiving kind of roguelike, really.
Yeah, the part that infuriated me is I didn't know that. So like I'd been wasting my time, it felt like, and I was just like, oh man. It's not that the game is bad in any stretch. It's just like it's been frustrating for me because it's just like
It does make you learn.
I was like,
Yeah.
I don't, and that's not really my forte when it comes to shooters. I'm very much like a shooter first person kind of deal. Like Call of Duty was my jam, as much as that sounds terrible. Like I was
whatever
No
works for you.
shame,
Call of Duty
no
was fun.
shame.
Yeah.
I wasn't like those people that were getting nukes in Modern Warfare 2, but you know, I always had a positive ratio at least. And but like that's the thing is like I was playing it and I was like it's doing the thing to me that a lot of games like this do, where it's like I really like this, but it's really putting this itch in me to play a more hardcore like FPS PvP thing. And I'm like, I was looking at Call of Duty Cold War. I was like, yes, I could. No, all the reviews say it's garbage, and I want to play something like that, but like, I don't know. I haven't.
I want to play that, but not that.
Yeah, I want to feel like it's Black Ops 1 again, where I was chucking tomahawks at people from across the map, and it was funny. Like,
Those are the good old days.
Right.
I don't know.
Stalker might
I
be
think
up
that's,
your alley. I think you might like Stalker if you ever give it a try.
I've heard of that one, but I can't
Is that
picture it.
PvP? Morg?
It's kind of like Soviet Union Fallout, if you get what I mean. Like if you've ever like read any of the Metro books, it's kind of like that, where it's like heavily irradiated Russia.
That's a whole genre,
places.
is just heavily irradiated Russia.
Well, I mean that's Metro as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
The whole world is Chernobyl. You know, it's your radioactive oyster.
I don't know. I'm still
no shame
looking
about
for
the Call
my.
of Duty thing.
Oh yeah, I know. But that's the thing is I've really been wanting to do like a first person shooter PvP kind of deal, and I don't know why. Like I don't know why, but that it happens to me every once in a while. Like I just really want to play this. So what I'll probably end up doing is what I did last time I got this. I'll probably jump back into Titanfall because I love that game.
Yeah, and everyone says it was like really, really good. I never got into it myself, but only because I didn't have a group to play it with. But it was a blast. What little I did play.
Ever want to try? It just takes two
I
people.
don't have the time. I know.
It just takes two people. It's fun.
Yeah, apparently the campaign for Titanfall 2 was like the best.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
extremely good.
I would say so. It came out in 2016, and 2016 was a year for me. I would say had our second kid at that time, but that was when Doom 2016 came out and Titanfall 2, and it's just. It was such a like you guys got to look up some stories about Titanfall 2. Man, EA did that game dirty. They did it dirty.
Not surprised.
When does EA not do a game dirty? Like everybody knows that EA stands for eternal.
Listen to the man. He's preaching.
Hold on. This is how bad it was, Morg. Okay, all right. So Battlefield, Call of Duty, right? Biggest shooters still to this day, and 2016 that was true too. Call of Duty releases. They put Titanfall next week, and they put Battlefield the week after that. And Titanfall obviously isn't going to compete with those two. And it's just like, fuck EA? Why? Just delay it. I don't like. I just don't hurt it so bad. But I will say that was a year for me for gaming because like Doom 2016 was amazing, and I was a little disappointed even though I still enjoyed it with the multiplayer on that. And then I was like, but the campaign for me was like by and far the best thing in Doom 2016. And then I played Titanfall 2 and I was like, there's actually a contender for me on the campaign this year. Like there's actually like holy cow. So I played the campaign, I loved it, and then like the multiplayer was like, you know what? screw the campaign, multiplayer all the way. I finished the campaign, but like the multiplayer in Titanfall is just amazing. I love the robots and how they talk to you too, because like when you hop into them, they're like, "Hello, pilot," and stuff like that. Like, oh man,
They did some really good stuff with that. They very impressively made fast, fluid, first person combat feel, natural almost. That's what I got from it in the little time. I played like 6 hours of multiplayer.
Yeah.
And like basically, I kind of did the same thing with the campaign. I was like, this is fun. This is funner.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I finished the campaign. I actually platinumed that game on PS4. But
nice.
I platinumed both Doom and Titanfall that year. But I love both ends of that game. That's what made Apex Legends such a kick in the gut for me. They're like, hey, it's in the Titanfall universe. Don't you like that? And I'm like, no, I want a Titanfall game. No,
that's crap. Yeah.
I don't care if you got the little smiley robot. I don't care. Oh man.
Of which, Fortuan, I should let you know that on the Switch store, the Nintendo shop, Republic Commando is on. So if you ever want to try that game out, which was one of my favorite first-person shooters back in the day, I would recommend it.
Republic
it's really
Commando.
good.
I'll look into it.
Yeah.
Commando.
Think of it.
I'm stuck on the laser Genosians right now.
Oh, those guys. Yeah, they're really, really tough. I don't remember how I beat them, but I know that I beat the game a million years ago, and it was really, really hard.
My team's basically already dead. So, like, they just walk out and get killed. And then I'm, like, running around trying to revive them.
That's a 10 out of 10 on Steam. I'm impressed.
There's going to be parts where it's going to get really, really hard. There's going to be parts where you're going to have to deal with droidicas and, like, the big, like, super battle bots on, like, a bridge with very little, like, cover for you to be able to protect yourself. And then I think there's a point where you have to fight, like, 2 of General Grievous's, like, bodyguards, like the guys with the thunder stabs or whatever they are.
Oh, okay.
And they're insane.
Republic Commando is the Star Wars game. I have just recently seen a YouTube video about this from...
It's so good, man. Think of it like this. You get to play as, like, elite clones in a SWAT team. It is so awesome. And you even get to do like the whole domestic breakdown where you like open the door, throw a grenade in, come in, full guns blazing and everything like it's so fun. You'll love it. I know it.
This YouTuber, and I'm going to plug him because I actually like his content. Not that he needs it. He's way more popular than I will ever be. Because like 12.1K subscribers. But Kirk Collects, he talks a lot about first-person shooter games and stuff. He did a thing talking about Turok recently. He did talk about Resident Evil. He's more general gaming, it seems, but he really focuses on first-person shooters, and he did do Star Wars Republic Commando recently. So yeah, that's what I
feel like there were so many old Star Wars games that are like 10 out of 10 and I never got into except for like Battlefront. Like that was my Star Wars game that I played a lot of.
Right.
You know? Any Star Wars game done by LucasArts is a fucking masterpiece. Now don't
Rogue
let
Squadron.
my sense of taste,
I'm a big apologist for Rogue Squadron.
Very cheap bean burrito, but you know, honestly, yeah, I know quality when I see it. I made the mistake of buying Anthem at $80. And
okay, first off, Morgan, Anthem had great potential. It had great potential. They tried it. They came back. They tried to fix it. It was really good. They needed to keep going, and then they got cut off at the knees. So I loved Anthem.
That's basically what happened to me with Battlefront 2.
Oh, dude.
Oh yeah.
I bought the deluxe edition of Battlefront 2, $80 at launch, and then we all saw what happened with that.
Yeah, it was kind of trash for a little while. Apparently they fixed that too. I never went back to it. I did the same damn thing.
Yeah.
No. See, here's what happened to me with Anthem. And we're gonna put a pin in this whole you have good taste more because I'm gonna call out something here. All right. Anyways, I saw Anthem come up. I was like, oh wow, that looks really cool. And then like across the end of the trailer goes EA, and I was like, fuck it, I'm out. I'm out. I'm not touching it.
Rather writing on the walls.
And I was
yeah.
100% correct.
You want to know what happened? You want to know what happened with me? Is
Mhm.
I said the same thing, and then Dagger, who is my girlfriend, was like, "It'll be fine." It was not.
So we get to blame
Nope.
Dagger. Yes.
Yes, he did.
That's when you just get the Morgan Freeman narration in the background. But it would not be fine.
Yeah.
But it was not fine.
It was not fine.
All right. So
I so wanted to play as Iron Man, and I never really got the opportunity to really experience it.
that's fair. Now, what I want to call you out, Morg, on for your taste is telling us that Thor: The Dark World was better than Ragnarok.
This
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, this again, because it's
like, oh,
it's
well.
it's a freaking war crime.
I'm sorry, but I mean, like, the minute that they started turning Thor into a sitcom, I was really upset. Like, the only thing that they were missing from, like, every 5 seconds of that movie was a freaking laugh track. I just, ugh.
It definitely had a
Like-
different feel. I'll give you that, Morg. I'm in the middle. Like, I kind of felt the same way, but it still was super good. Like, I thought the same
I
thing.
would
I was
say-
like, it was funny, but it's like I want, like, it had action. I wanted more serious, but yeah, it was
I
still
would say
great.
it was more of a Taika Waititi film than a Marvel film.
Yeah,
I like that
like,
assessment. I like that assessment. I'm gonna use
Yeah,
that
like-
from now on.
Taika Waititi's a good actor and a good director. I mean, if you've seen Jojo Rabbit, I mean that's definitely a top one of my favorite films right now. But yeah, I mean, it just seems like more of a Taika Waititi. It has more of his flair with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's all I wanted to call you out, Morg, because I had to apologize to the audience after you said that at the end of that episode.
Or you were talking about that
I
when you were
didn't know they
on
took
my
it so
stream the other week.
seriously.
Yeah. I was
Like,
just-
and you will not believe what Morg said.
okay, the problem isn't that you didn't like Ragnarok, it's that you like the Dark World more. And the Dark World is considered like one of the worst Marvel movies. I just and
Well,
that's an opi-
it had my favorite actor in it, like that one guy who played as like the big bad dark elf in it. Played as, I think it was the first Doctor for Doctor Who for the modern
Okay.
for the modern series. So yeah, I kind of have a little bit of bias towards that, and you know the fact
Sure,
that you know
I
it
mean-
had like this awesome ancient
I get that
language and
too.
shit like that that nobody understood. I like movies where they have these languages that you don't understand and they put them in subtitles. I don't know what it is about that, but it just
what?
yeah,
You
just
like
certain charm to
you
it.
like to read.
So
Is that?
why don't you just watch like a lot of foreign film then? That's like all it is.
That's a good point. That's a
do.
good.
Okay.
Watch no. Go back and watch all the Marvel movies in French and see if you like them more.
You know what? Yeah, I need to brush up on my French anyways. I mean, it's supposed to be my second language. I might as well know what everybody's talking about.
There you go. Win-win.
Oh.
There you go. Yep.
Oh, Dagger did just say What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah, that's an amazing movie. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, the
Yeah.
movie was great. The show is even better.
I haven't got to watch the show yet, so
Do yourself a
I
favor.
love the running gag of what's his face who just goes bat,
Yes.
and then when he transforms back,
Laszlo.
human form.
Laszlo's fantastic. I love that. I never really heard of What We Do in the Shadows at all until Dagger introduced me to and watched the first season and then the movie and then the second season of the show. It's super funny.
So we talked a little bit about shows last week with Hot Sammy. So where can I see this? Like, where is it?
That's on Hulu. Yeah, that's on Hulu.
Hulu.
See, that's the problem.
Okay.
Hulu is the one that I don't have. Like, I have access to literally everything else.
Find a friend.
Okay, all right.
Yes.
I bet
it's-
you can probably
Get a
find it
friend. Get a
elsewhere.
VPN.
I mean,
Something.
I'll
yeah,
look.
get a
I
VPN.
think it also what it runs on. Runs on FX. So if you have that and they do reruns, I think.
Maybe I don't watch a lot
Yeah.
of shows and TV and stuff, but like just to recap, because you know most people listening have already heard me say this, but watch Harley Quinn on HBO Max. Harley Quinn's amazing. I finished it this week, and then also watch Primal. Those two, the Genndy Tartakovsky Primal. It's 100% my favorite show still. And Harley Quinn's a solid number 2 or 3 now. Like,
I completely
The Boys
binge
and
watch-
Invincible are good too. I
We
like
just
those.
finished Invincible. I liked that one. Yeah.
Invincible just fucking caught me off guard with the first episode.
The first episode was
episode
a bit of a shock. Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, yeah.
I know Robert Kirkman obviously because of The Walking Dead. I've read all the graphic novels and watched the show. So I was like, oh, superheroes. I wonder what this is going to be like. Oh, I didn't know it was an animated show. Watch his first episode. What?
Yeah, I
What?
was like, oh, this is kind of nice. This is a different vibe. I like what it. Okay.
yeah, that's what I'll say about Harley Quinn. I don't think it's on that level because I haven't seen it, but Harley Quinn is like surprisingly violent to begin with. So she pops in on the first episode and it's like rich guy is like, you're not gonna do anything to me. And she takes the hammer and just literally busts his leg out the back of it, like with the hammer, just like crunched and like blood and everything. You're like, oh, this is a Batman thing, right? Like,
You want to talk about
Not
Batman
really.
thing? The Batman stand-in in Invincible fully learns why Edna Mode's rule of
Oof.
no capes stands.
yeah.
We called that out as we watched it. Yes.
boy.
I like that.
Oh.
No capes.
He got turned
was
into
bad.
human jam so fast. Oh my god. Almost as bad as the
was-
Flash guy. Oh my god. Like just he just
Oh,
went like
yeah.
full Martian. Like if anybody like remembers that with like the record player and then like just all of a sudden their heads just yeah. Ooh, brutal.
Yeah.
Good show.
but good.
No,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed it. It was
I hardly Primal is less violent, sort of less gore. I'll say.
I don't think I've even heard of Primal. I just looked it up. I didn't recognize it, but we do have
All right.
HBO Max. I'll have to check that
It
out.
is. I will
really
say this: artistically, one of my favorite shows. There is no dialogue. There's no talking.
Okay.
Um.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like subtitles or whatever, don't need them because like it'll be like caveman grunts, dinosaur roars.
Gotta watch it. Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's hard to make time for like shows. Like I don't make a lot of time for shows or movies and that because I mean 4 days out of the week I'm streaming and stuff. Like there's my free time, and the other 3 days I'm usually working on stream stuff. You
Oh
know?
yeah. Now I was
So it's
I was talking about streaming because of the tax return stuff. I was like, maybe I could get some stuff to stream. Guys, I'm not gonna stream. I tried it on Monday. Like, of course we're streaming this, but like regular games. If anyone tried to watch me play Ghost Runner, I am sorry. It was just a solid screen the whole time because my internet cannot fucking handle it. Like anytime
Oh,
I play
really?
anything, it's just like, nope, I'm not gonna move. I turned the graphics all the way down to low. Like I was like all the way down, and then it's still like it's still
Yeah.
super choppy. So I was like, no, my internet can't handle streaming. So I know I talked about that a little last week. That's not happening, folks. I don't have the internet.
That's too bad.
Yeah, rural
Yeah.
internet can really do that to you. It's kind of rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Especially
instead,
in the States and stuff when we don't have any options like at all. What you get is what you get basically where you're at.
right,
Especially in rural
Yeah.
areas.
for sure.
Starlink is coming soon. We will be saved, us country bumpkins.
I am though because I'm doing that. I'm going to update this 8-year-old phone now. So that's what I'm doing instead.
I'm proud of you that you've kept it going for so long.
It's an S7. S7 is so old.
Hey,
I was gonna say there's no way that's an iPhone. You would have been phased out by the company.
No.
by Apple. They shut that
No.
shit down.
They're not. They're like,
Well, you know what they say at Apple, if it ain't broke, call it obsolete, change how it is, and then just try and sell it again.
and charge
Same
double.
product, different face. Yeah.
And phase everyone out of it. I
I love it. Oh, what? Well, I mean, like, it's the same phone, right? And then they're like, wrong! Look at that charge hole! It's different!
Yeah. Yeah, that was my biggest like, man, I really don't like Apple. My dad kind of instilled that in me as a kid, being a computer guy. He's like, no, don't do stuff on Apple. Like, okay, cool. We like to play video games. They're not on Apple very well. Cool. And then like the iPhone stuff came out, and I had like an iPod Shuffle at the time. I was like, okay, this is cool. Like I'm kind of liking the iPod stuff. And the iPhone came out. I was like, but I just wanted to listen to music. I already have a phone to do phone things. Like this was like kind of before smartphone stuff. By the way, I was super late on the smartphone, guys. It was like 2011 when I got a smartphone. Like,
Yeah, I think I was using a phone with actual buttons through 2010.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I was super
They're
late.
expensive.
I
I
didn't
was in
have
college. I didn't have money.
I didn't have texting until 2010. Like I couldn't text people. Like
Okay, that's rough.
so I was really behind on the
don't-
phone
yeah.
technology. So and funny thing is like I got this in like 2013 or 14 or whatever. So like yeah. I have not had a lot of phone stuff. But hey, I'll upgrade it. But yeah, the iPhone, oh man. Like they started talking about like, hey, let's unify like everyone's charging ports, like USB micro and USB mini and then like USB-C and all that kind of stuff. They're all kind of thing, and Apple's like, fuck you, we're doing proprietary. Peace out. And it's like, why Apple? Why are you such dicks?
Money.
Because
I
we
mean,
want to
yes.
make money.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
We should just starve them out. We don't need Apple. Let that apple rot. You know, we've been eating the same one over and over again. Like I'm actually looking at like the logo for my freaking laptop.
That's a
The
nice
Apple
crotch
already
shot.
has.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Yeah.
yeah.
DM me. Anyways, yeah. I got a private show for you. Anyways,
Oh, boy.
but no, I was gonna say like you could even look at the logo and it's already got a bite in the apple. Like, what good is it? It's
Yeah.
shit.
It's
Like-
already used.
It's an already used garbage apple. You know, it's trash. Fuck that company.
Welcome to Morg Diddy's OnlyFans.
I was going to say,
Oh damn!
instead of OnlyFans,
If I could
it's
make
only,
money,
only
No.
morgues.
Only
Only
morgues.
morgues.
Only morgues. There you go. Well, we did it,
Oh,
guys.
he
we,
says nice
we
apples.
went
Why,
not
thank you.
safe for work again. I'm sorry.
Hey, it's all in good fun. You know, it's clean fun. We can talk about this kind of stuff. You know, it's just contextual. You know.
Yeah,
Like one of those 80s.
it's clean until
like
I had
one
to
of
go
those,
to therapy.
like one of those 80s videos where he's doing the dance and then sits in the chair instead of ice water. It's just maple syrup that pours down over top of it.
Oh my god! I remembered actually doing a video like that in I think it was an After Effects course that I took, where we were doing special effects, and I actually did that where I was we had a girl who got really sick and she couldn't finish her part of the scene, and so what we did was I decided, well, okay, I'll just play as her or whatever. So I put a black wig on, and then I went through and I was like, oh my gosh, look at all the pancakes or whatever. And so we did this trick where, and this is with like an old school camera, so we didn't have the special effects for it. So we actually had to buy maple syrup, and we had to get these
my
microscope
God.
lenses or whatever, like, you know, those things, whatever. We put it in front of it, and we drizzled maple syrup in front of the thing and made it look like I
Oh.
drowned in it. It was so funny. Oh
Okay,
my god.
I was thinking they were
I was-
pouring hot maple syrup on Morg. I thought that's where we were
I
going.
wouldn't be surprised.
See,
He'd be-
I
he'd
was
be
making
down.
a joke, but here Morg's already done it.
Flexible. We could try
Right,
it.
I mean, it is Canada, so
Yeah, Kenyatta. It's actually Mexican for Spain.
no. I'm pretty sure that's Espanol. Well, it's Spanish, but yeah.
Spanish is Spanish, you know, totally different dialect, but it's the same language.
No.
No. If you can actually get like a person from Mexico, and you can get a person from Spain.
Oh, no, yeah,
from
yeah.
like mainland Spain.
Yeah,
and if you
no.
put those two together, they will have no idea what anybody is actually saying.
No,
because,
that I know.
The
My
language has so drastically changed.
my
it's
ex-wife
really funny.
was Hispanic, so I know some Spanish stuff. That's yes, I know.
Yeah. So in order for me to be able to go to Puerto Vallarta and to also be able to visit Oh darn it! I can't believe I forgot his name, but really awesome Spanish dude. I would actually have to learn 2 different types of Spanish in order to be able to communicate with both people. So
Yeah.
yeah, that'll
I
be
think
fun.
I think it's called Castilian Spanish is the Spain
Mainland
Spanish, and then
Mhm.
you have dialects from several different countries and that kind of stuff, like
Yeah.
Mexican. The one I was exposed to the most was Peruvian. So
I think there's also Chilean Spanish. I don't know if it's different, but yeah.
I mean, everyone has their idiosyncrasies. Like, I mean, we can call what we speak American, and like, someone in Tennessee sounds somewhat different than someone in Florida, like, and they're pseudo close together. In relativity, I guess. So, we're all over the place tonight. I'll tell you what.
I don't even know
Get
where
a
we're
little bit
going
of
with this
everything.
roller coaster.
Yeah.
Fine.
Well, the thing is,
Call
like,
the Buffeo podcast. Just a little bit on your plate of all of it.
yeah. Well, the thing is, like, I didn't really. I normally, like throughout the week, I'm kind of thinking, like, oh, what can we do for like a theme this week? And like this week, I was laid out with the shot stuff, and I was just like barely playing and doing anything. So I was just like, I don't want to think about it. I'm just VT's coming on. That's good enough, right?
Well, we have the Monster Hunter announcement coming up this week. I mean, what are you thinking we're going to see in 3.0?
more
Ooh.
more monsters. I definitely. I think.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But more monsters like. So we know we're finishing up the story, right? So you think we're going to see like end game monsters, like high end tier, like more elders, or what? What are you saying?
I think we're gonna get Potaro Fusion, Ibushi, Narwa. We're gonna get Narbushi.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was thinking
Straight.
we're going to see the offspring
Mhm.
that they've teased and hinted at, and then I'm just leaving my expectations there. Because I'd rather
I
be
think that's smart.
surprised
Yeah.
than
Or
speculate
we'll
about
get
stuff and then disappoint myself,
or
very
what
wise.
we could get is we could get kind of like what was like in Dark Souls, where you get 2 bosses in the same fight, and when one of them dies, the other one consumes the powers of the other, and then becomes super amped.
Oh, like
and then you have to
Smo.
deal with a mega boss.
What is it? What's the other one? Smo and something else.
I can't remember, but I remember that one was the fat one, and then the other one was the real skinny one with the pike. I can't remember what their names were, but
Had some friends like that.
yeah.
No, I think we'll definitely see some kind of. I think we'll definitely see some kind of like duo fight with Narwa and
Ornstein.
Ibushi.
There
Right?
you
Like,
go.
That
Yeah.
would be really cool.
honestly, like I think it'll be some kind of like siege based thing, like either using the rampage or very similar to the Narwa fight where you have like the ballista, artillery kind of help too. And you're probably fighting both of them. Maybe not the same time all the time. Like they might trade on and off, but I think it's going to be a pretty scripted, big, heavy, kind of cool fight. I'm looking forward to it.
Tag team wrestling. You're in Narwa.
Yeah, basically. That hurt. Get in there and slap him with your belly.
Oh man.
maybe now we'll get a spirit bomb proper and not the Shara Ishbalda wind bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well-
that might be cool.
I think we're
I
gonna,
hope to see some big stuff. Like they didn't play the proof of a hero in the Narwa fight, but they did play it in Ibushi, which felt a little
Yeah.
odd that we didn't get the end. But it's not the end, so it's got to be something
Right.
epic to play that. I think we're gonna get it, and I think it's gonna be big. So hopefully,
because we do
I
kill
would-
and carve Ibushi. I think that's part of the difference is it does die, right?
Ibushi?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, it
no.
flies away.
No.
No,
he comes
that's
back,
right.
yeah.
No, we carve the tendrils that come off. You're right.
Yeah,
100%
same thing
right.
like Narwa. Yeah.
And also at the end of the Narwa fight, there is that cutscene where the twins are both possessed by Ibushi and Narwa.
Yeah, super
Yeah,
creepy. Didn't
no,
like
yeah.
that.
Their
You're right.
offspring.
No,
Yeah.
put the throats, get them out of here. Let's take care of that problem.
No,
I don't
you
like
want to
it.
talk super creepy? I've already seen a mod where they change in
Don't.
Elder Fugen with both of the twins.
Oh,
So they're
I
the ones
remember
walking
that.
in at the beginning and
not,
all that.
not a
And
fan.
so like picture Elder Fugen but like with their hair walking in an opening scene, and I'm just like, and I've been on Twitter long enough today. Let's exit out of this.
That's enough internet for the week. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know somebody who's got a kink for that, and if they had twin Fugans, they would probably lose their shit. But I'm not going to say who it is because I don't want to embarrass them.
We don't. I don't kink shame. Not at all. No, I'm really hoping. I mean, we'll for sure get the end of the story. Obviously, we're seeing that. I hope we get some awesome fight with Naru and Ibushi, but also in 3.0, I'm really hoping we get some more mid-tier monsters to kind of diversify the armor sets a little bit. Give us some other options because that's what Monster Hunter's done in Rise really, really well. Is they even make I've seen people still run around like Izuchi pieces.
Yeah.
And the low rank monster stuff is still viable in some armor sets, and I love that. It makes me so happy for the variety.
Yeah, it's not everyone just wearing Elder stuff right now. Like it's very much. I will say, obviously we're gonna get the Ibushi Narwa stuff. Whatever the kid, maybe fight them. I want to see more Elder Dragons per map. So if you notice the sort of cutscene thing that we got to introduce the different monsters. They talk about them sort of being the boss of their map, which happened on all three of them. So I want to see what we get for the Flooded Forest and for the Sandy Plains. I want to see elders that sort of rule over those maps per se.
What do you think of the idea of maybe getting Val Hazak back?
It's been heavily teased. I'm sorry, I don't think it's going to happen. I'd love it.
Been teased? Has it?
Not teased by Capcom. People fan art.
Yeah, speculation.
A lot of speculation.
Oh,
sorry,
I just don't think he fits. I don't think he fits in this. I mean, he
Dragon.
really belonged in the Rotten Vale, and we don't really have that death kind of vibe in this. Not really.
Oh,
in
sorry,
any of the
Val
areas.
Hazak. Man, the V names.
What were you thinking of, Fortune?
I was thinking you were talking
Volcana?
not Velcana. What's Valstrax?
Oh, Valstrax.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see Valstrax getting added in.
Val Hazak, I would
Nergigante
love.
would actually be really cool.
In Base World, he was my favorite new monster. I would say, yeah. I mean, I'd love Val Hazak, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, Nergigante is one that I'm reading chat here is one that I think they could easily work in, story wise, and I think they could bring back. I'm not sure if he would really reign over one of the areas.
Yeah, I was
thinking like you were saying, but
I was thinking if
it'd be cool.
That was my guess for Sandy Plains was Nerg.
Yeah. He could fit there, yeah, but it makes sense. He follows to eat elders and stuff, so he's just gonna go where they go. So, and I think he'd be a great fight in Rise too, because he was already really good in World and Iceborne. I really liked that fight.
He was really good,
If
but
he had
also
an
really
interesting
easy.
turf war.
I never got sub 5 minute monsters in World, except for Nurg. In Nurg, I'd get 2.5 minutes. I'm like, what? Am I a time attacker now? Is this how this happens?
Only on Nergigante.
Right.
Yes,
No.
you have a specialty. Yeah, it's hard to think back of all the different elders and what could really fit in it at each area. I like the joke that Pless would come back and be the guardian of the flooded forest. I think that fits.
Oh man,
I'll take
have
him back in any form.
Yeah,
as
I'd
long
love
as
to have
it's
him
not
back.
that stupid net catcher from 4 Ultimate.
As long as, yeah.
It did my boy dirty.
Yeah, that was rough. I felt pretty bad about that. But yeah, I would love to see Plus coming back. I think that'd be great.
I could maybe see Black Veil in the flooded forest. I think that would fit.
the mossy part. I don't know.
Yeah.
To lead with a variant,
yeah.
that'd be kind of weird, but okay. Instead of having the base.
If Monster Hunter, as much as we bash on the lack of a story most of the time, they do always have everything kind of making sense. It's all connected, right?
Yeah.
So, for example, again, Nergigante and Deviljho follow monsters to eat them. That's why they're there, etc. Exactly like you said, Ace Badger, if there's a lot of moss growing up and it's just been chilling out underneath there, it could, perfect place for it to grow and get infected and come out from. Actually, I hadn't thought about that, and I kind of like it.
Yeah, and I'm kind of
Ancient Plesioth. That'd be a terrible elder dragon.
The whole under the pyramid curse type thing with that too.
Oh yeah,
like that whole zombie aesthetic that it had going on.
That would be pretty fun. Yeah.
Otherwise, I could otherwise, just like completely way out in the weeds. I could see Yamatsukami coming back and being on flooded forest, but I don't think
Yama
that
would
would
be-
at all be very likely.
Yama
Yeah,
would
they'd
be
have to
really
design a lot
awesome.
for that. But it'd work out so well with the wire bugs, though.
Yeah,
Like they
Yeah,
could do some
that's
really
what-
good battle with
You
that.
can-
But I would love to see Yamasa coming back.
yeah. He's got a little more. Of a chance
Namiel
of-
in the flooded forest would be really awesome, and I think that aesthetic would work really well, especially with all
Agreed.
those aquatic areas. That would be perfect.
Now,
Thank you, Cloud.
one thing I want to say is the surprise. Like I don't want to put my I won't put all my money down on this happening, but I'm like, I would really like to see this happen, is actually getting another map in that sort of coral aesthetic that we had in the Narwa fight. Actually getting a full another map, which would lend itself to a
Yeah.
lot more monsters.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Well, we
Now-
don't really even know what that area is going to be because we didn't see a whole lot of it, and
No.
there's a giant hole now. So underneath there, that could be where it is, and that's where they could bring back Valhazak.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And that was Pan's point last
well,
week.
we have.
Mm.
Well, I mean, Ibushi is the wind dragon. We have Narwa, which is basically the thunder dragon. You know what we're missing? We're missing a rain dragon.
Oh, I thought you were going to go
We're
Captain Planet and
missing-
go Heart.
I was thinking Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well,
Yeah.
A rain dragon. Yeah, no.
Rain, yes. I mean, like we could
Amatsu.
use something that would be similar to Amatsu, or we could even have Amatsu. Hell, if Narwa and Ibushi actually produce a freaking Amatsu, that would be so sick. And then imagine if that area kind of like you know how like when you have like a piece of coral or a starfish, it's all dried out and it's all discolored and whatever, and then when you introduce water to it and stuff like that, then it becomes more vibrant and colorful. Imagine if that's what happens to the stage.
I like it. I'm on board for that. I think that'd be great. I would love to see Amatsu come back in some form anyway. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I think I like the idea. I didn't really think about another area bringing in more monsters. I think it's really smart too.
Yeah.
And that would definitely fill in a niche, kind of with the different locales and everything. That'd be kind of cool.
Yep. Like I said, I really, because the Narwa stage made me think of that, and like, okay, so we're going to follow it down, and maybe it's just another arena. Maybe it's not even a whole full another map, because I mean they've done that before. But
Yeah. Well, the map's a lot of work, and they're clearly still
yeah.
working on the game and everything. So, but that could be why. Hell, who knows?
yeah. And that's why I've said this several times. I am reserving judgment of sort of like a quote unquote final review of Rise until this 3.0, because I feel like it was a launch window thing. Now that's giving it a lot more credit than a lot of times I would for another game. But to be honest, I think that's part of the problem we have with review processes is and just the way games are these days. It's not everything's available to you day one. There's all this sort of exclusive access. I mean, how many games are in early access that people are loving, and seeing it as a
Go through
grows?
hundreds of changes anyway. Yeah.
I
But
mean,
no,
Darkest Dungeon is an indie darling, and Darkest Dungeon started out in development, right? Like it was not done. People were actively working on that game when people got into Darkest Dungeon. I believe the same was true of Into the Breach. I believe I don't remember. I didn't get into it until
I know
on
that the
Switch.
first Subnautica was definitely
First
still being
Subnautica.
worked on. I think it was in the alpha.
So I think there has to be, and I think IGN has done an okay job of saying this is in development and we want to review it at this point, but please, look forward to whatever else content's coming on. And I think even in AAA space, we're kind of doing that to a degree. And, a lot of people are hashtag finished game or else, but I mean, that doesn't really, that's not conducive to the environment we're in right now for games. So at least in my opinion. So that's why I want to wait until 3.0.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I haven't done any review video or anything on it until we get into the, when it's a whole package, when the story's finished, and then we make our assessment and go from there. But I'm curious if they'll announce anything for basically a 4.0, this week coming up. Okay, here's what's coming, here's what you can expect, and then we're also going to be doing this, or if this is going to be they're going to go silent for a little while and then work on whatever else comes out after that. this is gonna be the last
Right.
big drop for a little bit.
Well, what I can see happening is we get 3.0, and they're gonna shift the limelight off of 3.0 and onto Stories 2. I think they're gonna really focus hard on Stories 2 until it comes out, and then we'll probably
Well, it comes
see
out in like a month, right?
July 9th.
Yeah.
So it's really soon.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
comes out in July. Yeah.
Yeah, really soon. So yeah, they definitely have to. I mean,
Yeah.
there's in a weird state where they're like juggling two games in the same
Hunters.
series
Yeah.
but they're entirely different. You know, so you have to kind of support both of them, but at the same time, if you're doing this all the time with it, up and down. And so yeah, they probably will shift it over to it to try and get that. But then, that's good. Work hard on Rise and, maybe it'll give us more content later.
Right. Now I guess we can revisit this at some other point again, but I did have an idea of something to talk about in general. And the discussion with Stories kind of brought this up in my, because I have been addled with a shot all week. But what kind of what would be some fun Monster Hunter spin-off games outside of Stories? Like, what can Monster Hunter do in other genre?
Oh, you know what I would like to have? I would kind of like to have something that would be kind of like
I've got two in mind.
How would I describe it? What was the one game? The one where you get to play as a dinosaur and you kind of grow and you develop as one, and then you reach maturity, and then you procreate, and then you create the next generation. I can't remember what
Spore?
the name of that game was called. Maybe I can't remember. But anyways, yeah. Imagine it like that. Monster Hunter, and you get to pick and choose what classification of monster that you exist as, and you have to find a mating pair, whatever, produce a child, raise it, let it grow and develop, kind of like that.
Monster Hunter
That'd be really
Spore.
cool.
Okay, without the customization.
Well,
Imagine
It
it like
could
that.
be
That'd really cool.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool playing as
No,
like a Tails
I wasn't
having
against
to
it.
like actively look for a Lunastra mate, but also trying to not get killed and eaten by a Nergigante, or like having to deal with Devil Joes and stuff like that.
I like that idea because then you could really go into like the environment. I mean, they put so much attention, which we don't even notice usually as hunters. But
Yeah.
if you follow like Bandlagi Cruise or something on like Twitter, he does this a lot. So that's the first name I thought of. But if you just watch monsters out hunting them, they eat. They all have their habits and stuff. They all have like personalities, and so you could really expand on that with a game like that. Of, you nesting gets you like certain safety or something bonuses if you nest in a cave or whatever. Like they could do all kinds
Yeah.
of stuff with it and really expand on the world of Monster Hunter. So I think that'd be actually kind of neat.
All right.
I'd play it.
I like that. No, I'd play it too. Go
that
Would
ahead.
you eventually turn into like an apex
That would be
monster?
really
with, like,
awesome.
would be interesting. Although kind of horrifying given the other aspect of the Apex of like if you or I was thinking to actually, what if you became a deviant too with the horrific aspect of like you had an
Ooh.
encounter with hunters and it scarred you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's part of their environment. You'd have to fight them off, otherwise you die.
Yeah.
Or if you play as a Gormakala and you just infect the entire world.
Right.
Oh my god.
Then you're just
Cataclysm.
playing Pandemic.
I love it. That could be an option too.
I actually have named one of the viruses on that game Gore.
It fits.
I like it.
Um,
I could definitely see a game since the project is somewhere off in the ether and we have not gotten an update seemingly in years. I could see a game where we play as a guild knight and hunt down poachers and then also hunt down tremendous threats to civilization and the environments.
did you take my movie idea?
Oh.
I
They
mean,
could make it like
everything is an idea.
My movie
Oh,
idea
What hasn't been
about
done yet?
Actually,
my movie idea of Monster Hunter poaching.
Doesn't necessarily have to be like that exact plot. It could just be you're your own.
Gotcha.
that could be an option. I like that. Or you could take it to the next level and make it kind of like a single player campaign where you play as like a soldier in the guild, whatever, and then you like customize and upgrade your character. Like you don't necessarily hunt monsters to to where there are parts or anything like that. You just have your baseline default armor or whatever, and then you just kind of progress as like a first person RPG experience, kind of similar to like, oh, I don't know, Mass Effect, or like what's another game that could be a good example of that, like Far Cry or something like that, where you progress as like the soldier and you go through a campaign where you're like just kind of going through a storyline, like
More linear.
a little,
Yeah.
yeah, a little bit different from that, but it's like follows the storyline of the guild and like all their, you know,
that is a story
like some of the
aspect I'd
stories
like
from
to
behind that.
see is the guild, because we get very little pieces of information from it. And
Yeah, and it's such a
Mhm.
huge part of it, though. Part of Monster Hunter.
yeah.
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 Or,
I would like to. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just thinking. Think of like what was that one game? Like Fallout's 1 and 2, where it's like a turn-based RPG, but you play as the aces.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. Ace
Now
Cadet
that would be cool.
get burned alive
Yeah,
by
you get-
Fatalis.
Yeah, you get to play as
Yeah.
all the different aces. You have them in your repertoire. You get to command them, put them all across the map or whatever, and then you have to like strategically take down the big bad boss monster or whatever. Ooh, that would be a really good game. I would love to see a Monster Hunter game
So-
that was
so
had
Dagger talking
orthographic
in-
view.
Yeah, leave
Dagger's
it to
talking in
Dagger
chat
to take
about-
one of my ideas. That's
Yeah,
fun.
that was mine too. Is basically
Yeah.
a strategy RPG, but I think
Yep.
part of that stems from the recent Monster Hunter board game that just got launched on Kickstarter, which does not look good. But that's besides the point. That's a whole other conversation. But a strategy
Oh,
RPG would be
yeah.
one that I would think of. But the
Yeah.
one that I really would like to see, kind of stemming off of what Ace said, or kind of went with, you know, and what you guys talk about more about the guild. I would like to see like a city builder. Like a city builder type game in Monster Hunter where you have to build like the fortress
the
up
natural
against Lao.
disasters are the monsters. Oh,
Yes,
would be
well, like
cool.
you have to like enlist hunters from other villages or something. Like we need Rathlos parts to build up our armory, our black. Like we need
Oh,
you know
that's
Tetranodon backs. Like just keep it going. Like it's just all top down. You know, it's that are you building cities up and stuff. That'd be a blast.
Well, you
I
have
love
to
it.
advertise it like those mobile apps where
Yeah.
you like pull the pins out to free the princess and stuff, right?
No.
Yes, yes, exactly.
No.
No, God,
No,
no. It'd be
no.
no. It'd be like awesome. Like you could choose the theme of your village and the location, and you know, and based on where you like set up at, there'd be like different monsters in that location. So you might have like better chances at getting certain resources or something. You know, better ore or more wood to build different stuff up for your fortress. And yeah, I think that'd be really cool. You know, the better your city, your town gets, the more hunters get attracted over there. So you get more resources that way from sending them out. And you can do
Yeah.
with the guild. We learn more about that. I think that'd be a lot of fun. It'd be totally different.
I love that idea, and I've been playing a lot of City Skyline as well as Age of Empires lately. So I like
Exactly.
yeah, I love that idea. Now, I really don't want to have to worry about a sewage system in Monster Hunter, so I'll stay away from the whole like cities aspect of it, but definitely like location stuff is important in cities too.
You can make an above ground aqueduct, kind of like Rome.
And I don't want to skim over what Dagger said because that is one of my ideas. Is a
Yeah, no, I
strategy
want to let you
RPG.
go take with that, please.
So
Lead
so bear with me because like it actually sparked a third idea as well because like it would be kind of the same idea but in a different style. Did you guys ever play Lord of the Rings: The Third Age?
I know of it, but I didn't play.
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I haven't played it before.
Okay, it's an amazing game. I played it on GameCube. It's PS2 era. I think it was on PS2 also. The whole reason why I want to bring it up is that it is a turn-taking like JRPG style. 3D, like you pick your attacks, that kind of stuff. That would be kind of cool to play as well. But here's the cool thing about Third Age is they had you beat the campaign, you played as Aragorn, the hobbits, everybody, and then you beat the campaign and it's like a new campaign unlocked. Be the guys from Mordor. You get to play as the trolls, the orcs,
Ooh.
and stuff like that. And you get to play their side of the story as they're trying to track down the ring and kill. And it was awesome. They had a cave troll. They had giant bongos, and he was like their bard that gave them buffs and stuff. It was just amazing.
That is so awesome.
The reason why I bring this up is the strategy RPG I want to make is there's two different ways to play. You can either play as a single monster that is controlling one unit fighting 4 hunters, or B, controlling 4 hunters in an SRPG unit trying to take down a big monster. Now, it's just SRPG style of Monster Hunter combat, but like if you could make it from a higher up management standpoint, like something like what's the really popular Alien one? I can't remember right now. I can see
Alien Isolation.
No,
Or
God damn it!
Kill all humans?
I'm gonna look at my.
I know the one you're talking about.
It's in my GOG library, which you guys are gonna see for a second, but I don't want to. All right, there we go.
Or no, I was thinking of XCOM.
Yes, XCOM. That's the
Okay.
one.
XCOM.
Because XCOM takes some management position in that as well. So like if you're a part of the hunter side, you can be like, "Hey, we lost 2 hunters today. let's train up some new ones," and that kind of stuff. And if you're the monster, you're like, "Okay, so what is, we're defending the forest. So like, what are the monsters that flew in and nesting here and that kind of stuff." So you could sort of like manage like a territory or such. On the monster side. So like the strategy RPG stuff, I really like those games a lot, even though I don't finish a lot of them. But my other idea was, it's a pretty simple one. It's just Godzilla Destroy All Monsters, but you play as the different monsters from Monster Hunter. There you go.
Or like Rampage? That would be really fun too. Oh my god, Monster Hunter Rampage would be so cool.
The reason why Rampage works is because you're destroying cities. So like I'm really in the
You'd
Monster
have to
Hunter
be loud.
universe.
Just be a really slow game.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like in the first Monster Hunter stories, like a village gets ravaged by a Nargacuga. So I mean, I guess technically you could do the same thing. And I mean, like if you play as a werewolf in Skyrim and you just happen to go to a village or whatever and you just massacre everybody, it's kind of the same element. Just picture doing that as like say a Rathalos or maybe a Tigrex or like something like that. You can
I
do
think it would be
something like that.
interesting to have like a highly emotional, single player game of Monster Hunter where you play as a baby Nergigante whose only goal is to like kill and eat all the other monsters, and like slowly levels up and goes through. Because
Now, that
other
would be
monsters
fun.
hunting other monsters would be like Joe or Nerg, right? Like there's a few that kind of fit that bill pretty well.
That's
Or would
true.
you want it to be
Yeah.
any monster for Tuan?
Well, no, the one I'm thinking of.
Can I be like a Velocidrome taking out like Fatalis?
Well, yes. Here's the thing: is
Evolve
destroy
would've been really good too.
Destroy All Monsters was
Zenith
just
Velocidrome.
literally a 3D fighting game. That was it. It was just like Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla. Throw you in a town, have fun. Like that's literally what it was. So like you'd be like,
Yeah.
we're Thalos versus Rathian, or like Leo, where you're like, why are you so big? But like Leo versus Velocidrome.
Oh
just
my
like
God.
just do those like crazy 3D like fights. So, like Destroy All Monsters was a really good game. It's an old one too. But something along the lines of you're just fighting the monsters together. And the idea kind of came from my brother where he was like, what if they turned like the whole monster riding thing, because like you already kind of control them, into like a fighting game where you just play as the monsters. I'm like, oh yeah, like Godzilla Destroy All Monsters. And then that's kind of where this idea kicked off from. I'm not.
Would
I
be
like
really
what
interesting.
Cloud was thinking. What Cloud was thinking of was something like Evolve. Now,
Yeah.
I know Evolve is not the greatest game in the world, but I like the concept of it. And if they applied that to Monster Hunter, where you could play as a monster and you had its like full repertoire of attacks and such, and other people could still play Monster Hunter the typical way that they usually do, but you get the chance to be able to play as a monster. That would be really fun. I don't know how it would play into like the rewards and such like that for beating hunters, like how that would actually apply to being able to upgrade your creatures or whatever that you get to play as, or whether that actually
You
plays
attract a
into
mate.
how you would
get to-
upgrade
you
your
get to have a bigger brood.
hunter. That would be really cool. Or like have,
I
like,
always like the
variants.
idea of Evolve as well. But I think if we're going to transfer it to like a Monster Hunter game and like based on what I think you were saying is basically just move it in so someone can play as the monster. I think if they were to do it right, they'd have to do it where you couldn't win as the monster. You could just make it harder. And the worse you made it, the more damage you dealt with something. That's how it works off there. Because the thing with Evolve was, it's supposed to be even, but it was so difficult to balance that. Like everything that I read with it it's just impossible. So why try and balance it? Just try and make it fun.
Yeah,
Sure.
Make it so that,
Yeah,
like,
could you,
the longer that it takes for them to beat you, then the better.
Exactly. The
rewards
more
in the
damage
end.
you do, the longer that it takes, the more rewards you get. And that way, the hunters still get their rewards. You still have a blast because you're just pissing people off.
Could you imagine that? Like, it has like a little matchmaking thing for it. So you're doing normal Monster Hunter game, and then you're like, you connect. Like, it has a little connecting screen. It shows you the username of like who connects to the monster. Just like so you can be like, hey, that was a pretty good, like want to hunt together, kind of like social thing, and then like, you guys are fighting. Like, let's just go with like Great Azuchi. We're like, all right, this is gonna be easy. We're gonna dunk this thing. This guy is, but I'll make it a little harder, and I like that because it makes easier monsters like a lot harder to fight because you got an actual not an AI controlling them, but a person. And then on that connection screen, you see Kanta pop up, and you're like, "Fuck, we lost."
Although I feel like now that I think about it, half the time, if it was like taking longer to defeat the hunters, defeat the monster, you just as the monster be running around the map. It has to be like arena based or something. It could get pretty trolly pretty fast.
Oh yeah, no, that already happens with
too.
writing. Yeah,
I think it would have to be based off of how much damage you do to players and whether or not you can actually make them cart. Or I think that a time limit it would probably get really
abused. Annoying. Yeah, definitely not the right direction.
And plus, I mean, like as a monster, you only have a fixed health pool, anyways. So with the hunters being able to just constantly heal themselves up, if there was like a time limit for it, and it was based off of the idea that like as the monster, if you didn't beat the hunters down hard enough, or like if they didn't kill you, then it would immediately just turn into a draw, but nobody would really get anything out of it. So you'd have to make it so that there would have to be a reward for both of them for at least putting the effort in. So maybe like a checklist of things, like objectives that you'd have to complete as either the hunter or as the monster. I think that would make it actually more fair. So
you could do
that'd
this
be
thing.
pretty cool. As the monster, keep your tail attached the entire time.
Like
exactly.
achievements.
Yeah,
exactly.
Don't let the hunters break your parts.
No,
try and stay at a certain health level.
You could do like if we still have like melding, you could get tickets that are good for melding and that kind of thing, or you could just get like materials that you would get for your hunter and just like make the monster portion just like a different way to farm things. Like, I'm going to get better rewards if I win as Nargacuga, so I'm going to get Nargacuga parts, I guess, like, or something like that. Would be it gamify it more so than what the game is, because like lore wise, you're carving it, you're getting the parts because you hunted it, but like if you add in like an evolved mechanic and you get those rewards, you kind of earned it by staying alive, and you get to keep your parts, like, I guess.
Yeah.
Suppose so.
Oh, for anybody who's new, who's coming in, welcome. We are actually talking about alternative styles for a Monster Hunter game.
Right,
so like different
spin-offs.
variants, like spin-off games that might be interesting. Just to let you guys know. So yeah, if you actually have any ideas, feel free to let us know what kind of styles of Monster Hunter you would like to see. That'd be cool.
Dagger just mentioned Palico Rancher.
Now here's the thing.
That.
Here's the thing I like to blow people's minds with. There was kind of like a game like that already with the Papyro. What do they call it? The village, the cats.
Aru Village, yeah.
Yes, that like that. Well, it was more like sending them out, less so than Monster Rancher. But that's also the From Software game.
Version of it.
So
There we go.
Oh no.
There we go. A game for your brother. You play exclusively as a feline hunter, and you hunt with other tribes of felines.
I mean, he just calls
And
that
Dodgelaka.
Generations Ultimate.
Yeah, but all that.
Yeah, technically.
I would like definitely an expanded version, because I think everyone would love that based on like the feline hunters and GU, like, because we always see the cutscenes, like 420, you love this when they're farming or like one of the intro cutscenes when the Palicos are from like the cinematics are like working on a Diablo's scalp or something like that in the desert, and there's like a bunch of them teaming up, or like we saw in
the
World where
Monoblos. Yeah.
or yes, excuse me, the Novelist, yeah, or like in World when we see like all the Grimalkins come out and like team up, like have like a village, like a game where you play as one of those little villagers and you go out and become like the best feline hunter, slowly rank up, you know, and get better
Yeah.
gear and everything else.
Boy, the cat puns. The cat puns will be flowing in that game.
Yes, they would.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Fortuan. When
What?
you were mentioning what was it? Godzilla
Destroy All Monsters.
Battle of Monsters. Yeah, Destroy All Monsters. I was just thinking, what if they did something like Pokken Tournament, but it was Monster Hunter, with where you played as the monsters?
Yeah, I mean, it's not
That
too
would
different
be
from
cool,
what
too.
Pokken's a little more fighting game 3D fighter, whereas Destroy All Monsters
Mm-hmm.
really, because I mean, you're basically controlling these battleship of creatures that were, they had attacks
Yeah.
and stuff. Pokken is not really that different. It would just be it's a lot more fast paced than Destroy All Monsters.
Yeah, a
But it's the same
fast-paced
concept.
3D
It's the same
action
concept.
fighter game. That would be
It's
cool.
Literally
I think
just
that
a
would
3D
be really
fighter.
awesome too.
Yeah.
I would like
Yeah,
that
literally, yeah.
that fighter applied to like the maps and areas of Monster Hunter. So basically, like two monsters are taken off, but they can like run around and recruit Bullfongos and stuff.
Yeah.
Get a team and like like go eat, like kill other monsters to eat and level up. And basically, it's monster versus monster, but not just in an arena. Like you have to like do some prep and avoid or whatever.
Mhm.
Kind of like
know,
we do
I
with the
think that'd
Spirit
be kinda
Birds
cool.
now. Yeah.
Yeah. You if you choose to. Yeah, I think that'd be interesting. There's so many options out there, especially now that Monster is getting so big. I feel like I wonder if we are going to start seeing more spin-offs. Depends, I guess,
Yeah.
on how well Story 2 does.
Oh yeah, and as chat is saying, a city builder, VT already talked about that. Like
I-
we
yes.
talked about
Yeah.
tonight, City Builder 1 is the one I would be 100% down for. I'd play all of these, but like the City Builder one is
Yeah.
the one that I'm like, because I also played the Jurassic Park one recently.
I heard that was amazing.
It is. I got it for free. It was for free on the Epic Game Store for a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I picked it up.
Yeah, I
and
managed to grab it.
I loved it. The last scenario I played was kind of weird because like all the scenarios are like, hey, dinosaurs in a pen, keep them in the pen. And they're like,
Yeah,
what
that
if
would be
you're
really
in the
cool.
pen and you're keeping them out? Was the last scenario. And I was like, so I'm building, because it's like a city builder at the same time, or like a park builder, but it's like, so I'm putting my people, my tourists, in a cage and keeping them away from the wild dinosaurs. That was a
Safety
tough
cage.
one because
That sounds interesting.
well, because you can't you're like, okay, so they start the scenario with like there's 4 Spinosaurus and a bunch of Stegosaurs everywhere, and you're like, so the Spinosaurus is just going to start killing the Stegosaurus, and they're going to start getting lonely and pissed off and breaking into the park and killing people. Cool. Like, it wasn't the Spinosaurus that was the problem, it's the Stegosaurus because they got lonely. And I was like, but
They just want friends. Let them
Oh.
in.
yeah, because they all had, which I thought was a cool idea. They all had like a social health. And certain
When
dinosaurs,
Stegosaurus is horny on main.
yeah, they needed to have like you needed to have like a minimum number of certain dinosaurs in a herd for them to feel comfortable and safe. And I thought that was a really cool idea. And then like you have a Spinosaurus, which his comfort level is me. Like I don't want anyone else, but I'll totally eat the other ones. That's fine. It just, I just like, oh man, that game was really good, but like, that was a rough scenario.
I'm kind of liking the new information that we've been getting about Spinosaurus and the fact that it was primarily aquatic, quadrupedal, massive, massive fin-like tail, conical teeth, perfect for catching fish and eating them. What an awesome beast!
Yeah.
We don't have to deal with those now, to be completely honest.
Yeah, thank God.
That's why they're in our movies and video games now and not here.
Just keep them there. Keep them there.
Well, I don't know. This is weird. This is like a weird spin of the conversation, but like it's really sad. Like especially here in the United States, we don't have a lot of predators left. Like we killed them all. Like wolves, like mountain lions. Like they're making a comeback, which is cool. But like the moment they start killing people again, you know, like
Yeah, the U.S. isn't exactly Australia. There's not a lot that can kill you here.
well, I mean, not left.
Yeah.
Not left.
Not anymore, I guess.
Yeah. No, they're all gone. What is it? A couple years ago, they declared the mountain lion extinct in the United States, and that's terrible. But or at least in the eastern
I didn't
United
know that.
States, and yeah, it's terrible. But they're still around. There's been sightings of a couple here in Ohio, but like that's a good thing for conservationism. But like also they will straight up eat you if you do.
Yeah, we got a number of animals around here. I mean, like it's probably like not great that they're eating people, but I mean, like we're always asking people like, what are you even doing out there where they are? Don't take a selfie with a Kodiak. That's not a smart idea. It's going to give you a bear hug, but then it's also going to give you love bites. Really, really nasty ones too at that.
Darwinism
not
at
a
its
good idea.
finest.
Right.
Yep, exactly.
But-
Yep.
But that's my lament is like that we just kill it off instead of learn how to exist with it a lot of the time.
Yeah.
Hey,
Mhm.
out of the real world stuff, I guess. Yeah, no, Spinosaurus.
Yeah, I
people
think
would totally kill it.
honestly, I think the most dangerous animals that we have around here are cougars and cougars. That's all we have.
Well, that's what a cougar is, the mountain lion. Yeah,
Yes. A
They're-
savage cat
they're gone.
that likes
Here.
the taste of man flesh.
No, I think they're opportunistic.
And then we have the actual animal that belongs in the wild.
Oh, gotcha. Damn it.
Waiting for it.
Ba-doom.
All right. So, do we have any other monster spin-off ideas? I don't know. I'm sold on VTs.
Oh, well, we were talking about this on stream the other day. I mentioned something with the mechanical monsters, where it's basically, like the monsters we have now, but everything is, like technology age, or for a different theme, I guess, as opposed to a different game. Which I think that'd be pretty cool.
That would be
would-
really cool.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Subnautica with like actual Leviathan classed.
Yeah. Ooh,
wyverns.
okay.
That'd
There's
be
an
really
idea though. What
cool.
about a survival type Monster Hunter game?
Oh, that'd
I
be
was-
really awesome.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking potential one part or
Kill
two part game where you play
Kotaro's
as like a
Monster Hunter.
villager and your village gets destroyed and you have to survive until you make it to a new village or new guild settlement.
And that's the first part of my movie. What are you
That's
doing?
a cool idea. I like it.
Ace, that's the end.
No, literally. Just to recap, VT, so you know, like we talked about like a movie idea that I talked about years ago. Like we're talking like 2017, maybe 18. I talked about this, where the movie is a brother and a sister lose a town to like a Rathian. They make a run for it. They're doing they're trying to survive and get to the next major town in the Monster Hunter world. And there's a Velocidrome that's completely like hunting them and tracking them, and they're trying to survive. And then they finally get there, and it sort of like fast forwards to where she has become a guild knight. The sister's become a guild knight and a hunter, and then the brother from the experience went the other direction and became a poacher. And it's like the conflict between the two was the movie idea. Ace is just
Yeah, that's pretty
all
cool.
over it today, huh? Just all over it.
No,
You
But
knew
no, I
about
think
this
like a
movie.
survival game.
these are common tropes. They are not yours alone.
Yeah.
Monster Hunter:
You
The
don't
Last
own that
of Us.
idea. No, I think like a survival like game, like like the Forest or Rust or any of these other ones, like base building and whatnot, would be kind of interesting. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Along the lines of Ark.
Build up. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Ark
right. You have to
survival,
go out and
Punch a
spend
tree.
your time hunting or gathering or building everything up in the universe.
Well, that's what they do in Ark,
Fuck
right?
it,
You
just-
just
just-
punch the trees. That's what I remember.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just kick a bomb badgie into the tree and blow it down.
That's fair.
that's
Yeah,
using
that's
noggin.
actually clever.
Yeah, no, that's much better. I didn't
Bombaji defenses around your fort.
I didn't know that there was a bomb badgie. Oh no, do it for
You
the
just-
city builder. That's just like one of the upgrades to the walls. Is just bomb
A
badgies.
Bombaji moat.
Just,
No,
well, you know, like they
Dig-
do in
dig-
medieval, like the hot oil they pour over. You just pour over bomb badgies. Just a bucket of bomb badgies onto the
They
monster.
just fall like a bunch of party
No,
balls
just-
on top
Just
of their
slap him on the ass on the way down.
no, just dig a hole in the ground and place the bomb badgie in it.
I
There you go.
let me
This is
just
a
Tie
mine.
them up and hang them from ropes like tether ball, and then just
Oh my
slap
God.
them right into.
bomb badgie tether ball. Let's think of more ways we can abuse this harmless
What
monster.
defenses do you have? Tether Badgie. Every 10 meters. Oh,
I will
jeez.
say
Tommy!
I love the bomb badgie attitude when you use them in Rise, because like they do that bounce thing and they don't die, they just spin on their back and they just sort of give up. They're like, ugh, oh god, it hurt.
And then I just fart the little excess gas that they have left over.
Right.
It happened
Ugh.
again.
His jerk
Oh my God.
hunters.
Yep. I bet you the guys from Shell Oil would just go in there and just like suck them dry and be like, we have found alternative fuels. Yay. We have now natural gas in its purest form.
So funny stories.
Posted.
So I live in a smaller city, or outside of a smaller city in Ohio, and we have a Tesla charging station, set up for like 6 Tesla cars. There's no Tesla cars in this city. They're just there. There's I don't even understand why we have a charging station. No one has a Tesla.
For
Just
people
in
doing
case
what they
someone
should
happens to
do
come
with
through.
Ohio, passing through. Just keep on going. You stop for 30 minutes.
Oh.
That was nice. Let's go.
That's cold. That's cold, man. I love
Michigan.
this
I don't know what you
place.
want from me.
I don't believe in that rivalry because I don't follow the hand egg. All right. That's college stuff, anyways. I didn't go to OSU.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, city builder, fighting game. So poke in / destroy all monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Survival game. That's a pretty good one. Story driven.
Subnautica with actual leviathans. Survival style, yep.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought completely off the wall.
Mhm.
Monster Hunter Carnival games, where you use
Monster
Plesioth
Hunter
as the-
Carnival games.
as the spray gun for the balloon, and then you can
oh!
use Garuga and Acnosam as the darts.
Oh, like the Pokemon Stadium stuff.
Monster
Yeah.
Hunter theme park party games. I love that idea. That is so cool.
Then you can use what's his the armadillo one. Why am I blanking?
Volvodon.
Volvodon.
You can use him as a basketball and throw him into hoops.
That'd be so cool.
Use him
Maybe
as a
use
basketball or just
Gossarog
make
for
him
like
jump.
the what was it? That
Basketball or
one
bowling
game
ball?
where the one
Conchu.
with the big hammer. Ooh, yeah,
Conchu
yeah. where
putt-putt.
The one,
Conchu putt putt.
yeah, Conchu putt putt would be cool. Like Conchu
Like a
mini
Monster
golf,
Hunter
that'd be really
theme
awesome.
park.
Yeah.
That would be so sick. Or like what is it? That one you could use Gossarog for. What is that game where you have like the hammer, you smash the lever, and you try and get the little stupid
Holy
weight
moves
thing all
the
the way up,
balloons.
hit
I
the
love
bell
it.
at the top. That would be really cool. Playing as a Gossarog, just be like boom, or like just as a hammer main, and then just slam on that sucker as hard as you can. Ping!
No.
You won a prize.
No, Duramboros with his tail.
Duramboros,
Oh, there you
yeah.
go. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it. I mean,
Or
I played
Gossarog with the ice hammer,
what's
yeah.
that game? Not Roller Coaster Tycoon. I played it so I can't even think of the name of it.
Uragan Chin could do it
Something
too.
like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then
The
you could have
Urchin. Yeah.
then you could have Kurapeko
Boom,
boats
Jay
that
Leno
go
it.
through the tunnels.
Oh
That
yeah.
Okay, I mean, they're not a waterfowl. That's why they're lovebirds. Okay, sure. um, wow. So I was going to make a point earlier when we were talking about some other games like the PS5 stuff. I went into the store and I realized there's like nothing to play on PS5, right? Like all of us here have one except for Morg, right? Morg doesn't have one.
I'm saving my money.
Oh,
I'm
way to
saving
call
it.
him out.
No, he did. He didn't.
I'm poor. I can't help it.
No. I
But
was gonna say because it's been such a pain to get one. It's like I know some
Yeah,
people that are
that's
still
true.
looking.
that's true. I mean, my brother still hasn't got one. And we were trying at the same time, and then I got one. He's like, "Screw it, I don't even care anymore," and he's stopped. Like he still wants one,
Yeah.
but he isn't doing the work to do it.
Yeah,
Which is fine.
It's so hard.
I don't blame him. Every single restock just gets scalped out, and it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
still.
I
brutal.
think there might be one. I think there might be one or two, maybe at the Walmart that I'm at, but
Yeah.
until any games actually come out for PS5 that
Well-
I'm interested in, I'm gonna hold off on that.
That was gonna be my
Yeah.
point. I went into the game store this week and I was like, okay, I'm gonna put a pre-order on Stories 2 and Mario Golf. And I was like, cool. And I was like, why did I get my PS5? I have I have yet to buy anything other than Returnal, and I literally only got that because of Aphlis being on the credits. That is why I bought the game. Like,
Badass. It's awesome.
Aphlis was in the credits for that game.
oh yeah.
He did a lot of the environmental design as well as some pretty major pieces in the cinematics too.
Yeah.
Aphlis. You
Yeah,
never told me that.
it's pretty awesome. He made
Yeah.
some really good looking trees. Really good looking trees.
Yeah.
That guy is an amazing painter.
That's also why I got interested in Spider-Man, because he did Miles Morales stuff too.
Hmm.
Oh my god, Dagger, you just come up with all the best ideas. Paolumu as the balloons and Diablos as whack-a-mole. That would be awesome. Oh my god. Yes. And if you hit the black Diablos, you get an extra prize. Why not? Just a random black just bang. Ooh, a bloodbath. 5 times the points. Bang! Oh my god, that'd be
I mean,
so fun.
It's still along the lines of like Conchu or Volvadon or something, but you could also do a skee ball, like a Volvadon skee ball or like a Conchu.
Oh, that'd be
skee ball.
fun.
Or
that'd be-
lawn
yeah.
darts. Yes.
You could get Nursilla, Raknakadaki, Balhazak, Nakarkos, and have like the amusement park haunted house.
Oh,
Ooh.
all the creepy ones. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, back to your point, Fortuan. Yeah, Dagger and I were joking about it the other week. It's like we've had until Returnal came out, we haven't really been playing our Mass Effect or PS5s at all. We've just been playing Monster Hunter and other stuff before that. And most of that stuff wasn't even like PS5 exclusives that we were playing on it. You know,
No.
it could have been like PS4 or something else. I
I
know,
bought a lot
it
of
suffered
PS4
from the-
games to play on it. Like,
Yeah. It's suffered from a really weak launch, which I guess is like bittersweet because it's, you know, some people missing out on the PS5. It's kind of nice that they're not like missing out like on the big multiplayer games or anything like that. They're gonna be dead by the time they get one. But it's also just kind of
Yeah.
like, well, great. You know, like I got Sackboy for it. We got like 5 games on launch, and that was pretty cool. But that again you could get it on PS4 too. At least I'm pretty sure.
I have two. I have
yeah,
two
most
PS5
of them you can,
games.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know
Yeah,
that I can play the Mass Effect trilogy on PS4 if I wanted to download it, and I probably will because I kind of miss those games. But I also have them all on PS3. But I mean, like, I hope that they fixed it so then that way you can actually carry over the progress from Mass Effect 1 over to 2 and then over to 3 because
I'll just
I noticed
wait
that there
for
were some
Dagger to reply in chat because she's playing those right now.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah,
remembered
she did
that there
say
were some
yeah.
issues between Mass Effect 1 and 2 where they had issues being able to carry over the data properly. And so even if you worked hard to get the really good ending and you were able to save the council in the first game, if you jumped over to the second game, it didn't really progress properly, which was
I think they did
pissed
fix
me
all
off.
That. Yeah, I think
I
they
hope
they
they
fixed
did.
a lot of things and they used the progression systems from 2 and 3 in 1. They kind of reverted that back to she was talking about. But Cloud said in chat, Demon Souls alone was worth it on PS5. I don't agree with the fact that alone was worth it, but I did play it. I got some good content out of it and etc. Wasn't my favorite Soulsborne. That's a discussion for a whole other time. But yeah, so that was I mean, beautiful game, amazing remake with that too. So
I will agree and disagree with you with that on VT. Demon Souls is my favorite Soulsborne game. Not worth it. I didn't get out of the Pestilence area, the first one. Like I got stuck. I beat this game on PS3 back in the day, like handedly. I beat it
on extra hard mode, yeah.
And then this one I got to like I can't remember the name of the area, but like basically it's the cliffs, the first area, and I'm just like, I can't get past the big dude at the end. Like the big like goblin dude with the giant hammer. Just like I can't do it, and I don't know why. I spent like 4 hours doing that one map, and like I was just like, I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not into this sort of punishment anymore.
You have to keep trying.
It was rough for me on stream. There was one point when I was getting like extremely frustrated. I just ran off a cliff like 10 times to increase my death counter to 69. I was like, let's just get it up there. Come on, here we go.
Oh, that is such good news. Thank you for letting me know, Dagger. Oh my god. Now it is totally worth getting Mass Effects 1, 2, and 3 because yes, it carries over flawlessly. Thank the gods. They fixed it.
Yeah, Godfall was one I was
still my favorite.
Godfall was one I was really hoping was gonna be a lot of fun on PS5. I was thinking that would hold me over for a while. It didn't. It did not. It was a disaster.
So, yeah, that was one that my brother was really interested in, and we did a lot of research on it, like looking at YouTube and reviews and stuff. And he's like, "No, we're not getting this."
Yeah.
I had faith.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Fortuan, I was going to say that, even though you can't get past the goblin with the big hammer, it's okay, because eventually you're going to be able to get far enough in the game and actually make some decent progress. You'll probably figure out how to beat him. It took me, I think it was like 3 days to beat Father Gascoigne, because I had no idea what I was getting myself into.
Now, that's a game we need on PS5. Give us that remaster.
That's my worst one. I hate Bloodborne the most.
You hate Blood. It plays so differently from the Dark Souls games.
Right.
It's a more offensive retaliation type game. You get health back by attacking after you get hit.
Exactly. I like my blocking.
That's
the biggest thing. Is I like the shield.
Yeah.
I can't help but be a very proactive player. So when I'm playing a game that does not encourage you to block, but at least to to be able to iframe out of attacks, or to be able to just directly counter their attacks and punish them with these big openings that you can get out of them.
I claimed
the fact that it is Cthulhian themed, it makes it even better. Because I like fighting great old ones.
I care zero for that whole aesthetic of that game. Just nothing about that game that really gets me jazzed. But
damn,
that's a shame.
Well, it's just I'm more into high fantasy and that kind of stuff.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah, so
exactly. Yep.
Demon Souls is my favorite one. Yet I just sort of gave up because I was just like, no, I'm not okay with this. Now, granted, that was on the streak that I did. Like I platinumed 2 games and then beat 3 other ones just before Rise came out, where I did that like in a month.
A little bit of a burnout sounds like it too.
No, that was me like allowing myself to play other games instead of Demon Souls. Demon Souls was like the one sort of like holding the floodgates, because I finished and platinum Spider-Man PS4, and then I finished Miles Morales, and then I platinum Shark Eater or Man Eater on PS4. That one's fun. I did that in a day, less than 24 hours. I platinum Man Eater. That one's fun.
I will say one thing, that the minute that I beat Bloodstarved Beast, and if it's on my first try, I am changing my ringtone to this.
I don't hear anything.
You're right.
Yeah, it's choppy.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, phone. Never mind.
I will say I will probably go back to it, but there's a lot of other things that I want to play. So like lately, I've been doing Ghost Runner for Bickering Bucks, which has been VT, if you remember doing SideQuest with me, it's been my replacement show for SideQuest. So
Nice.
we extended. It's no longer once a month. It's whenever we can get it finished, which is probably a lot easier to do. But I just did Ghost Runner. And talk about good soundtracks. I literally went to Bandcamp and gave this guy his name is I just had it up. It's something awesome. Daniel Dangerous or something like that. Like his screen name is so good. Yeah, I'd have to pull it up and people would see it on stream, like my whole file system and stuff. But anyways, like the Ghost Runner games are like, I just finished it for that show yesterday, and I was like, yes, this is amazing. I have not stopped listening to that soundtrack. Like that soundtrack is so good. And Morg just uploaded it to planning, so I'll listen to that later.
Nice.
Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it. It's so good. It is the most based ringtone in the world. And you don't have accept or decline. You just have accept or accept. You have to accept the based. That's the
Okay,
only way to be.
It might go on my new phone whenever I get that.
There you go.
But I do have Uncharted 4 to finish. I never played that.
That one was pretty good. I enjoyed it. And honestly, not as much as some of the other ones, I think, but maybe it was just 'cause it was more of a somber feeling because it was sort of,
Right.
I don't know. Yeah.
So
But it was still really, really good.
I've not been really hard up to play games, so I haven't really like gone back. But I do want to go back and finish Demon's Souls before I get back into Neo, because I want to do Neo, and Neo 2 has a free upgrade for PS5. So
Yeah, Neo 2 was an awesome game. I didn't get into the DLC and moved on to other stuff before that stuff came out, but just the options for different playstyles you have in that game are amazing.
Yeah.
They're almost unlimited.
Neo 1, I specialized in spears because that's such an underused like weapon in a lot of games. Like
Yobi.
I love to do spear stuff, and it's not even because I'm particularly fond of spears. It's just like it's just uncommon. So
Yeah. Well, the spear was super good in Neo 1 too, and it had like that flip over attack too and the
Yeah.
fast. I remember using that all the time because I used it a lot in Neo 1 too, or as well. And then Neo 2, I think I went to Tonfa's and like it wasn't Switchclave, Tonfa's and the large katana. I think I did the Odachi. That's right. Yeah.
okay.
It was a blast. That was so much fun.
But since they're similar kind of games, I want to finish Demon's Souls before I get into them again. So
Yeah, for sure.
I don't.
It's easy to
wanna-
burn out on Soulsborne like games.
Yeah, and of course Elden Ring. Whenever that is.
I haven't heard anything from that in a long time.
Yeah, I still got to beat
Yeah.
Bloodborne, and then I've got to beat Sinking City, and then after that, I can't remember what the name of that one game was that I got. It was kind of like a dungeon crawler. It was based off of the Warhammer universe. What was it called again? I can't remember, but I mean, I remember that you can play as like a wizard class or like a dwarf, or I think it was a rogue, and then like basic knight. But like there were different like classes that you could explore. If
The
I can only
Chaos
remember-
Bane?
it
Warhammer
is,
Chaos Bane? I don't know. I just
Chaos Bane
is-
Soulsimers-
Actually, I
what
played
was it?
quite a bit of Chaos Bane. Chaos Bane's not bad. Chaos
oh
Bane.
no, that's older.
Chaos Bane is a Diablo style game.
Warhammer game.
Warhammer
On
games. Wow! Congratulations, you
PS4.
have
Yeah, that'll
found
be-
200 results.
Oh,
Yeah,
Vermintide. That's what it's called. That's
Oh yeah.
That's-
I've heard of that.
Vermintide.
That looks good.
Yeah, my brother's been hounding me to play it, so
Oh,
I gotta play it with him.
this summer, or maybe it's not this summer. Maybe it got pushed back. There's one game, and VT, I'd love to play this with you if you're into it. Back for Blood. That is
Back
something.
for Blood. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I've heard of
The
it.
Left-
I've
looks
heard of
like
that
fun.
one.
The Left 4 Dead remake.
What was that? That was at E3, right?
reimagining. Yeah. Back
I
for
remember that.
Blood.
Yeah, that looks good. Honestly, I don't make time for going through a lot of games. Like as streaming is usually the main time I play games. It's hard to like turn through a lot of different ones. So I don't have a lot of downtime to like clear up and everything. So I just beat Returnal, got the secret ending for that, so that's done. So I'm basically ready to pick up Biomutant, which I'll start next week, and then the week after that is Ratchet and Clank. So I'm looking forward to that one quite a bit. Rift
Oh yeah,
Apart,
the
that'll
new
be
one
fun.
that came out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like shortly after that, it's like stories too. So on top of Monster and everything else. So we're gonna get a pretty good run for games coming up and kind of focusing more on those.
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff on the back burner. Holy crap!
Well, my crown hunting is pretty much relegated to only playing with my brother when he has time. So when he's not playing with me, I'm not doing anything Monster Hunter at this point because it's just crown hunting. So
Yeah.
I have gotten into some other games. That's why I actually got back into Cities a bit on the computer. Was able to finish up Ghost Runner for the show. Which, I mean, little spoilers for that episode coming up. Play Ghost Runner. It's really good. But geez, the soundtrack on that, I can't get over it. It's so good. It's very electric though. If you're not into like electric stuff, then I wouldn't bother. Very, very dance and electric heavy.
It's amazing though when you find a good game with like you said, a fantastic soundtrack. It just brings it all together.
Oh yeah,
Like, that's so cool.
it's one of those. It's a game where you die a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and it comes back like the respawn time is like you press a button, you're back. Like literally, just like
Nice.
that. Then and playing that versus Returnal right now, where I had to skip 2 cutscenes and sometimes walk out of a ship, and I'm just like, just get me back in there. Like I know I screwed up. I don't.
Yeah.
So that's been kind of like egging on me where Ghost Runner's done it a little better in that aspect, even though they're very different games. But the soundtrack never stops; it just keeps going. And there's some things that stick to the beat, even though it's not like a rhythm game at all. It is very much a first person. It's like if you mix Mirror's Edge with swords. Is what
I'm in. Yeah.
Yeah,
Mirror's Edge was awesome. Did you ever play that? Because that was a fun. Both games were really really fun.
I never finished Mirror's Edge 1, but yeah, it's very much got the parkour stuff in it. You're basically a ninja with a sword in the future, and it's amazing. I mean, that's why it's a bunch of electric music and stuff.
Yeah, I remember seeing some gameplay videos of it and stuff when it was coming out, and it looked really really awesome. But definitely difficult.
Yes, yeah, definitely difficult. And yeah, it just like the thing that got me really into the soundtrack is just listening to it while trying to beat a level. And I tried to stream it Monday or Tuesday. I think it was Monday. And yeah, it didn't go well. Like the whole stream was just frozen, and I'm just playing and I'm looking over at the thing like, yeah, it's not going to move.
Couldn't handle it.
Yeah. So, wow, this has been a really meandering podcast today, but
It's almost like there are 4 of me here. Oh my god, all over the place. I love it.
I love you, Morg.
I know. I love you guys too. I
want
kind
you
of
to
love
put-
everybody. I mean, I just
It's
can't,
good.
I can't help having a big heart.
Sometimes you need to get all the other random topics out, and There's
Yeah.
a lot of good stuff
Exactly.
out there.
Well, I did
a lot
specifically
of good
want
stuff
to.
surrounding gaming and what leads into it.
We're
Yeah.
covering all 4 bases.
The thing is, like, I had almost expected for us to get the Monster Hunter news, and then we got the news this week that it's going to be next week, and I was like, oh, okay, well, I don't, yeah.
Speculate as much as we want, but yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Up until Wednesday. And then, yeah, it'll be Wednesday we get that. And I almost suspect that it'll be, because it's like in the morning-ish again. It's a little later than last time. I suspect that night, again, the update will drop, and then we'll be able to play.
Yep. That's what I'm expecting too. Basically, 100 GMT Thursday. So
Hey, she did
8
make an
p.m. Eastern.
appearance. It's Blinky.
Yay,
She looks all
small
nice and
puppy.
innocent, but she totally rolled in some shit today and had to give her a bath. So, thanks, dog.
It's just what dogs do. They think it smells great, I mean, like, if they like the taste of it, and they're willing to eat it, they're like, hey, maybe other dogs will like me more if I smell like the food they eat. That sounds like a great idea. Let's roll in some shit. It's just awesome.
She is terrified of other dogs. Terrified. She is not a friendly dog to other dogs. Of course, she's also small. But yeah, I put her on stream.
Doggo, what are you doing? You're flavoring yourself like food. What are you doing? All the other dogs are going to come racing to you. You socialite, you.
So I guess we'll wrap it up. Thank you very much, VT, for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's always fun, man.
Yeah, I definitely want to talk about Returnal, even though like I'm struggling with it. It's not a bad game. It's just it's
I really liked it. Like I said, we got the secret ending today. I have some theories. It's a confusing storyline, but overall, if anyone's listening and they're on the fence about Returnal, I would say pick it up. I think it's a very, very fun game.
So, do they tell you how to get the secret ending, or did you have to look that up? Because if it's good enough, I might be interested in doing it.
The secret ending's pretty short. I looked up how to get it, but if you just do another run and do a little exploring, it's pretty straightforward after that. Like it walks you through basically in the game. It kind of tells you what you do to get it. It's not much, but it will take at least one other playthrough at bare minimum.
So one other successful run, or entire
one other entire playthrough, no matter how long that takes, basically of all of the levels and the final boss after you beat the game once, which wasn't too bad. I did it in about 2 days. Kind of like a
new game plus.
2 streams. Yeah, you start over, but yeah.
Okay.
Well, it is kind of new game plusy. Yeah. I think it restarts you, and a lot of your gun stuff gets reset, but all your artifacts and everything else and all the stuff you collected really stay throughout. So for the most part, I didn't really see much detriment to it. It was pretty easy to cruise, honestly, after beating the game once, coming back in. Like, really easy to cruise through it.
Well, that might be a skill thing, too, because you've just learned how to play the game at that point, too. But yeah, okay.
Yeah. Well, and like, you don't have to fight any of the bosses again, right? On your second time through, because you still keep all that stuff. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it definitely got in the groove of it more at the second time.
Okay. Well, yeah. So like I said, we'll wrap it up there. This is Fortune. You can catch us at HunterSubPod, both here on Twitch and Twitter. And then, of course, as always, join the Discord. We hunt a lot of nights. Still, mostly every night, been hunting with my brother. And we're happy to help other people do things. We helped someone get through their Kushala and Teostra, and then another person joined and got through their Teostra. So it's been good.
Nice.
Although I did card on one of those. I carded on one of the Teostras. I felt bad because I was the only one that carded. But
it happens all the damn time.
Carding
such a stigma. It's not a big deal.
Well, I like to make
people
fun of my
were really
brother for it.
surprised with me when. Well, I was playing with somebody who had, I think it was over 300 hours of game time, and I only had 80. And we decided that we were going to go after Rajang. My first Rajang, and I was able to guard point that big, right at the very last second. Like, he just like does his big thunder stomp or whatever it is. And I guard pointed that shit, and it felt so good. And I was like, that was with 80 hours of experience. First Rajang. Easy handle. I may have carded twice, but I was able to survive.
Like how you snuck that in at the end.
Yeah. No, it's good. Actually, I broke 360 this week. 360 hours. So.
Nice.
Ooh, nice. And all you need is just 9 more hours, and then you never have to play again.
369.
Yeah.
That doesn't work as well as just
super
69.
nice.
Why is there an extra 3?
Well, I mean, why do you have to complicate these things, Fortuan? Why do you have to ask questions? God, you just ruin everything.
Sure. Anyways, join the
No, I'm
Discord.
kidding.
Morg, where can we find you?
Well, here, wait.
Morg Diddy.
Is it reversed? Is it normal?
No.
Is it normal?
You see it reversed. We see it fine.
Okay, great. Well, there you go. That's my Twitter. You just put an @ and then it's more Diddy, but that's with a 0 instead of an O. All capital letters for MORGD, and then the rest is itty. So, yeah, there you go.
Morg Diddy
Make an
Kong.
analogy with it.
He's handing out
Morg
compliments on Twitter.
Itty.
Yep.
Yeah. We're having a good time out there, spreading some love, helping all those smaller content
Yeah.
creators because I like the work that they do. They're hidden gems. Wonderful people.
We were definitely counteracting the drama with love this week.
And it felt really good.
Yeah.
Really happy about that.
Ace, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Ace Badger Gaming. Probably going to be posting a lot more Subnautica stuff as I hope to wrap up that game. I'm pretty sure I'm getting close since I got all 3 of the alien body fragments. So hopefully I'll be able to get that AI put into a new body relatively soon.
I like how you handled that. What was it? The Shadow Reaper? That was
Shadow
really good.
Leviathan.
Shadow
Yeah.
Leviathan.
Is that the one you
that was
punched in
really
the mouth?
awesome. Well done.
Where it latched onto you and you punched it in the mouth and it's like, no, and it went away. Or reminded me totally of the Mario 64 eel.
He went at it with the prong
So-
for a good while, and then he decided to just cut that sucker right up with a knife.
Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't
because
see
Fucking
that.
I shared the YouTube clip. No, I had the drill arm. It's like
Yeah.
the normal arms that you can punch, but the drill arm people
Mhm.
use for fighting it. And I had the torpedo arm, so I hit
Yeah,
it
with like those
a few
vortex
gas-
torpedoes. That was so good.
Yeah.
Well done.
I really like the shot where after that first initial hit where I come around the crystal and you just see it like sort of sidewinding in the background as it recedes. It's a really cool shot.
So you can't kill it, you just scare it off.
No, I killed
you
it.
can kill
Oh.
it, yeah, and he
No, he
actually
did it.
did succeed in beating it.
Okay, I
You-
didn't.
you
I
sort of
didn't
have
see the
to-
clip. Yeah.
You sort of have to fight it in stages because it'll like go away, and then if you stay in the area, then it'll re-aggress towards you and attack you again.
So
So-
Monster Hunter.
Yeah, sort of.
Okay.
Essentially
But in
so,
space.
yeah.
Cross training.
But in space
Yeah.
on a sea ice world planet.
So VT, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Vengeful Torture. And if you're looking for someone to make you an armor set with a talisman or something creative and clever, hit me up. That's what I do. I love it. I can't get enough
He's
armor sets.
really good at it. You can
Have
really
fun.
trust him with a good build or set, whatever one you say.
You whatever, yeah, it's all the same.
Yeah.
I'm accepting of everything. I don't turn people away.
Gen 5 has screwed me over for eternity. I will never look at anything as more than a build ever again. Damn you, Gen 5. Oh well.
I don't know. That is a level of why that I just I don't have.
It might also have been 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons that also did that to me, and a lot of RPG games that I'm now playing, where everybody's like, "This is the ultimate build."
Just don't
Oh, well.
don't get me started on 5th edition. I hate it so much now. It is no, just no. Anyways, thank you guys for listening, and we'll catch you another time. And thanks for watching if you were on the Twitch. So later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
See ya.